28, from Tulsa, Drew Pearson. At running back, number 33, from Pittsburgh, Tony Dorsett. At running back, number 44, from Houston, Robert Newhouse. At quarterback, number 11, from Arizona State, Dallas Cowboys squad, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's hit somebody. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this joyous season, as we celebrate the birthday of our Lord, we should remember that one of his gifts to us is the gift of freedom, the greatness of the United States, one nation under God.
Of the Dallas Cowboys, and he's got his team in the playoffs again. So does Dick Vermeil, one of the rising young stars of the NFL coaching ranks. And we're at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas for the showdown between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Philadelphia leading the NFC East 12-3. Dallas at 11-4. Both, as I said, are in the playoffs, but today means an awful lot. Merry Christmas to you, and good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Tommy, of course, is from Philadelphia, very close to the Eagles, and you had a chance to visit with their quarterback first today, I know.
I did, and I think it's the biggest Eagle game in 20 years since the championship game, and the two franchises are class from top to bottom, Dallas and Philadelphia, and I think Ron Jaworski, the quarterback with 26 touchdown passes, can say it better than I can what this game means to him.
I don't believe so. This is a great opportunity for the Philadelphia Eagles organization to dethrone a long reigning champion, the Dallas Cowboys. They've been the team in the NFC East for a long time, and we feel this is our day to come of age, so we're ready to play a good football game today.
And number 78 on the Eagles defense, the very best in the National Football League, is Carl Hairston. He goes against Donovan, one of the great tackles, and I asked him about his battle today with Donovan.
Well, I feel the only way I can really beat Donovan is be physical with him. He's a great competitor, he's quick and he's strong, and if I can be physical with him, I can handle him pretty well.
As far as the Dallas viewpoint, well, Danny White has replaced Roger Staubach, of course, as the quarterback. They know that they have to win by 26 points at least today if they're going to be the NFC Eastern champions. I asked Danny White if they had approached it any differently this week.
We won't approach any differently. Our main objective today is to win the game. And if we should happen to get into a situation where it's possible to win by 26, and we'll worry about that then. But our main objective is to have some momentum going into the playoffs, and the home field advantage will help. And so we're out to win the game, and we'll worry about the points later.
And Charlie Waters sort of holds the Dallas secondary together, and he says, perhaps better than anyone else, what this game means to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Though I've been in a lot of playoff games and 5 Super Bowls, this is a big game. This is the biggest game of the season for us. Though we do have a chance, it's not a no tomorrow game, but it is a game that if we don't play well and if we don't win, then momentum is not on our side. And we need momentum on our side, and our team has been here so many times. We know that we've got to have a positive performance today.
As was mentioned, the Dallas Cowboys have been the dominating force in the NFC East for a long time, but in the last 3 years, the Eagles have been coming on.
And you don't win the championship with a decision. You've got to knock them out. This is a very important game for the Eagles if they really are there.
James Jones will be back deep for Dallas, and of course that is Tony Franklin to kick off for Philadelphia. Tony has had his problems of late. Barefooted Tony Franklin gets it underway. We've never had a bigger one. Steve Wilson for Dallas. Wilson outside to about the 27, where the Cowboys will take over.
There's the offense. Donovan, Scott, the Pro Bowler this year, Fitzgerald, but you'll probably be seeing a lot of Shaw later in there, the big young second-year man. Rafferty, Cooper will have his hands full with Bigfoot Harrison, and Billy Joe Dupree at tight end.
Tony Hill and Drew Pearson are the wide receivers. Danny White, the quarterback. Tony Dorsett and Robert Newhouse, the running back tandem.
The Eagles think maybe that Dallas will run a little bit so they can use play-pass action to try to get on the board early and quickly, but they've got to run first.
Philadelphia won the first meeting between these two as Dallas operates 1st and 10 from their own 27. Dorsett to Hill. And you expected to Drew Pearson, I beg your pardon, you expected something like this might happen early. Pearson down the sidelines in Eagle territory at the 41-yard line. Bernard Wilson knocked him out of bounds.
What a great opening call, though, by the Dallas offense. Jerry Robinson, maybe the fastest linebacker in football, the right outside, gets over pursuing it. Everybody is chasing. Now look at the peel backs. Good block there. I believe that was Donovan.
That was Herbert Scott. There's Donovan downfield now with Billy Joe Dupree. And Drew Pearson, the ball carrier. First down, Dallas at the Eagle 41.
Dynamite.
40 degrees the temperature, cold and dreary day, but the crowd is not cold and dreary. Dorsett and Newhouse operate behind Danny White, and now Dorsett swings in motion. And White will throw. Pump fake. Down he goes to the hands of Jerry Robinson, the blitzing linebacker.
Well, there's some contact already. A lot of physical aggravation because people say that Dallas will finesse you, but they're not physical. The outside linebacker shot looked to me like they were throwing the deep pattern to Tony Hill, and I believe he had somebody open.
Here's the Philadelphia defense. The line, Harrison, Johnson, and Hairston.
They've allowed 12.5 points per game against them. I've never heard of a defense in this league doing that.
A tough core of linebackers, Bunting, Berge, LeMaster, and Robinson. And the secondary, Young, Edwards, Logan, and Wilson. Drew Pearson and Tony Hill split wide to the left. Second down and 15. Outside to Pearson again. He slips by a couple. Gets back to about the 43 before Roynell Young takes him down.
Jerry Robinson made a very fast move and almost deflected the ball. But I really like the way that Dallas is attacking. They're spreading everybody out, making everybody on defense play a position, and then they can go back to maybe solid football later on. Maybe they won't.
It will be 3rd and 12. Dorsett and Newhouse both go out. And the ever-present Preston Pearson comes in.
And now you get the 4-man rush by the Eagles so they can put some heat.
Number 87 joins the other 3. And that's Claude Humphrey. Also Ken Clark comes in on the Eagle defense. And down goes Danny White in the hands of Dennis Harrison.
Dennis has trimmed himself down to 280. He stands 6'8". He goes to the right defensive end spot on this 4-man rush, and I believe he just beat Scott to the outside. A mix-up on the offensive line, and the quarterback really gets dumped.
And the man who was just dumped, Danny White, is also, of course, the Dallas punter, standing back at his own 30. John Shira is back deep for Philadelphia, standing at the 16. The versatile Shira will handle punts today, and Danny White hits a good one. First man down was Benny Barnes. Penalty marker goes down as the Cowboys cover it well. Benny Barnes was hit from behind.
They're going to call Herm Edwards for a clip. That's where the flag was thrown. That was some boot that Danny White rifled out of there. He's been sacked twice in the first series.
There's the clip.
And the flag shall follow.
Herman Edwards is the man who committed the violation. And the Eagles move deeper into their own territory. The officiating crew, I'll tell you about in just a minute.
Personal foul, clipping number 46, return team, first down.
The referee is Dick Jorgensen. The umpire is John Keck, head linesman. Well, I'll get the rest of them in just a minute as there is no score at Texas Stadium between the Eagles and the Cowboys in the big showdown.
What did I call him, Fanny White? Got his name a little foul up there. It came out. Yeah, it sounded like a box of chocolates, Fanny White. Yeah, good start. And the game is going to be hot, you know it? Cowboys get a turnover here. This gets to be a very important first half. Nobody's thinking about those. Sure.
And what I do is I don't throw it to anybody, huh? Okay. Okay.
Bigfoot came from nowhere.
Didn't he, though? So did Robinson.
And, you know, Scott looked like he was trying to help on
somebody
Clark.
in the middle.
Yeah.
No score yet at Texas Stadium as Tom Landry paces the sideline as he has done for so many years. Philadelphia has the football at their own 5-yard line.
And they're in turnover territory. Very careful time for Jaworski. And especially Leroy Harris.
We'll check out the rest of that Philadelphia offense in just a minute. In motion is Charlie Smith. Wilbert Montgomery straight ahead. Buried by Ed Jones. Let's go now to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today. And we're at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, where there's no score here yet.
And Pat blocking that down 4 for the flex defense. The Eagles have been worried about it all week, all year, really.
They got 3 on first down, so it's 2nd and 7 from their own 8. Randy White smothers Montgomery. And here's the little fracas between D.D. Lewis and Leroy Harris already.
Blocking against that flex is not easy, but here's the offensive line. Stan Walters, who had the flu all the last couple of days. P.D. Perot, who has his hands full with Randy White. Morris, Woody Peoples, and Jerry Sizemore against Ed Too Tall Jones.
Harold Carmichael and Smith, the wide receivers. Jaworski, the quarterback. Montgomery and Harris normally will be in there. Now the Eagles have made some change with Billy Canfield in the backfield with Montgomery. Long count from Jaworski, a handoff Montgomery. He will not get the first down, out to about the 10 before the Cowboys wrap him up.
Some tackle by Randy White got into the play. Good play by Dickerson, number 51. You watch it. The Cowboys are crowding the line of scrimmage. Pretty good hole opened up, and was that Charlie Waters?
Charlie Waters, the safety man who filled the hole. And filled it like a linebacker. Max Runiger is the Eagle kicker, standing back at his own end zone, and James Jones at midfield for Dallas. Good kick by Runeker. Chases Jones all the way back to inside the 30. He heads up midfield, toward midfield to about the 48. Jerry Robinson, the Eagle, down to make the tackle.
The Eagles are the best in the NFC in covering punts, but Jimmy Jones scares you every time he touches the ball.
10:34 left in the first quarter. No score as yet, but there'll be some. Nothing here.
Man, I think we're going to see the whole bag. Huh? How about the reverse on the first play? What a great call, because the Eagles were so keyed up anyway. They over-pursued by 5 yards.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you, Artie. Yeah.
Sandy, why don't you give me Bigfoot Harrison working against Cooper? It might mean a lot.
Over.
It might mean a lot of bad things up there, I'm afraid.
That's the final score as Detroit defeated the Green Bay Packers 24-3 today. A game that meant nothing as far as playoffs are concerned, but it's always nice if you play for Detroit to finish on a positive note. Danny White, the Dallas quarterback. Newhouse and Dorsett behind him. Drew Pearson knocked out of bounds and wrestled out of bounds in front of the Dallas bench by Roynell Young.
And a long way out of bounds. He's the rookie, the #1 draft. And
let's now go to Brent Musburger in the NFL today. So at least some of the picture is cleared in the AFC as the Raiders qualify for the playoffs. Danny White will throw again. Going deep for Chase Salvi. And Salvi can't come up with it. No interference call. Randy Logan back there with him.
awfully good pass protection that time. It was a long pass, and Danny White had the time. There was some contact between Logan and the receiver, but Logan was playing the ball. He very wisely kept his eyes to the heavens. Watch this. And that's the reason the official didn't flag him. Logan's going for the ball, too. Boy, that was close. Good throw just over these outstretched hands.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 Dallas as Danny White gets the plays from Tom Landry and conveys the message to the rest of the offensive unit.
And they're about the best third down conversion team. 53% of the time the Cowboys end up with moving the sticks.
Double tight end setup as Drew Pearson goes in motion one way and then comes back. The Eagles almost jumped off sides but didn't. White put Drew Pearson wide open to the 30. And that's where it'll be a Dallas first down. John Bunting, the linebacker, made the tackle.
Shades of USC, huh? Number 88 goes in motion this way, now reverses back, almost caught him. All he does is wait for everybody to clear out, and he slides under. Again, note the time Danny White had to wait for him to clear. Everybody's backed out of there by now. That's Bunting making the stop.
Drew was lonely for a long time.
Look at Drew now. He'll just slip inside. Our isolated shot will show you. The linebackers have dropped to 50, and he's at about 8.
First down, Dallas at the 30. No score still. Pearson in motion, the handoff to Dorsett. And Dorsett slides for about 5 down to the 25. Frank Lanaster on the tackle.
A good finesse call. That time they ran on negative. They pulled everybody to the left side and ran back to the right side. Offense is really humming for Dallas.
The Patriots still alive in the playoff picture. Defeated New Orleans today, 38-27. Raiders 33-17 over the Giants, and they qualify.
Good passing down, 2nd and 5.
At the 25, still the double tight end setup for the Cowboys with Dupree on the right and Saldi on the left. Hand off Newhouse. 1 or 2, and that's all.
Good play by Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle. Big man from Colorado. He and Fitzgerald have really locked horns in the past. That time he won the battle, made the tackle.
Newhouse, after it's all over, got just about a half yard. We'll call it 3rd and 4 as the pass rush unit comes in for Philadelphia. Clark and Humphrey.
Claude Humphrey, of course, is the sack king. He's got, I think, 14 this year, only on 3rd down and passing situations.
Humphrey, the veteran obtained from Atlanta, is number 87. Will be working against Cooper. Right outside of Dorsett. Tony out of bounds. Shy of the 20-yard line and about a half yard short, it would appear, of 1st down yardage. Jerry Robinson knocked him out of bounds. It's going to be close.
Great thing about the offense right now is that they're going to all sides of the field and they're making everybody get involved. And that can shake you up on defense. They're going for it.
It is going to be 4th down, and they are going as Doug Cosby and Saldi both come in. Saldi many times from this position on the flank. Number 87 comes back on an outside trapping kind of maneuver. Right, buries his head and got the 1st down for the Cowboys.
The hardest team to rush the football against, the Eagles, and the quarterback did the smart thing. Watch him just wait. Scott gets together with the center. Donovan goes to the middle, and that's just the wedge.
He didn't have anything extra. Dallas 1st down at the 20. Clock running at 7:45 left 1st quarter. No score. But Dallas in scoring position. The handoff is to Dorsett. And Dorsett runs into a gang of Eagles. It looked like he had something going, and it all disappeared.
There's a flag on the play. There's probably going to be holding out there. But the one thing that's tough to do is run wide on the Eagles. They shut down Oakland running wide. Kenny King couldn't get started.
They have those 4 big and very mobile linebackers. They play that 3-4 defense. Penalty against Philadelphia. Against the Eagles. And Dick Vermeil seemed nice and loose before the game, didn't he?
The Eagles, if anything, might have been too high. They showed a lot of exuberance, and sometimes you can run yourself out of place.
Football, unnecessary roughness, number 43 defense, jammed to the head. 1st down.
Roynell Young.
A jam to the head, that sounds serious.
That's like a shot.
It's 1st down, Dallas inside the 10. So it'll be 1st and goal from there. Tony Hill checks out. Saldi on the left, a tight end, and Dupree on the right, a tight end. One wide receiver is Drew Pearson. 1st and goal for the Cowboys. Dorsett. Almost broke it. Somebody just got a foot. It was Harrison. And Dorsett got down to about the 5.
And remember, in the first game, Dallas couldn't rush the football at all back in Philadelphia.
Well, Dorsett had a tough day, didn't he?
Broke his ribs. And they're showing the Eagle defense right now, we think we can tee it up, and if you want to play physical, play physical.
They put it at the 6, where it is now 2nd and goal. Tom Landry still calls all the plays. And there's Tom with his telephone and his notes.
And a new top coat.
Drew Pearson is out wide to the left. Ron Springs is in the backfield. And he goes straight ahead. Springs. He almost got it. Straight ahead is Ron Springs. And it looks like he missed it by about a foot.
And he can run straight ahead. That time he ran the right side.
If Dallas wins by 25 points, they win the division.
Watch the block now on the right side. Rafferty goes inside looking for the linebacker. Cuts off half the people. Fitzgerald did a good job at center, too. Straight on.
So it's third down, about a foot. Cowboys at the door. And the door is open. 6-0 Dallas.
That is only the 8th touchdown rushing against the Eagles this year. What a drive. Mixed up. Every play in the bag is out today. Tom Landry is using everything he's got.
There's no need to save anything in a situation like this. Charlie Waters will hold for Raphael Septien. 6-0 Dallas. The Eagles have had only one offensive series. It's 6 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Septien drills it. And so with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium, the Cowboys roll to a 7-0 lead.
That was a good-looking drive. That going to see a lot of crazy plays. Eagles are so high, they're running around looking for people to hit. They don't know what's happening half the time.
There's a jam to the head. I have not heard that one.
A jam to the head.
Okay.
A jam to the head.
You want to do it any unusual way? Oh, okay.
Hanging out over the stadium.
How about riding a bull or something?
Sandy, who are you going to get on? Dickerson on this or Brown? Brown who? All right, get on Benny.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it in.
This is the one area that the Eagles have been weak in, too, is kickoff returns. They just don't get it out for position one at all.
We got back here.
Campfield.
Campfield? That looks like 37.
Yeah, Jamone on this side and
yeah. Harrington.
Harrington.
That's the final score as Raphael Septien is set to kick off. Billy Campfield will be in the middle for Philadelphia, back at the goal line. Harry Harrington watches Septien's kick go out of bounds, and now he'll operate from the 30. That'll help.
That's one area the Eagles have had trouble, is getting field position out of kickoff runbacks. Your whole series starts there.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited.
What Jaworski would like to do is to come back, get a good ground game going, and run the clock down 10 seconds on each 20-second clock between the plays. You know, the more clock that's burned up will keep the fellows from Texas from having the football. At least that's the Eagle philosophy.
Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Texas Stadium in Irving. Billy Campfield back deep in the middle for the Eagles. Harry Harrington on one side and Louis Giamona on the other.
How many times does a kickoff out of bounds hurt the situation? Usually you get a good run back with the next one. Your team is a little tired and you have to kick it further.
And the kicker probably presses a little bit, trying to get it deeper. Comes Septien. Line drive kickoff in the direction of Campfield, who bobbles it, finds the handle, hits straight away, and barrels all the way outside the 40. Septien picks up the ball, but they called it dead. Campfield almost broke it. Septien made the tackle. Ball came loose. But it came loose when he hit the ground.
If it comes loose when you hit the ground, it is not a fumble. This was bobbled here because it was a line shot. But Billy Campfield, at about 200 pounds, is really strong. He can bench 350. The sprinter from Kansas comes straight up the middle. He is not easy to tackle. He'll walk through a bad tackle or over the kicker. Yeah, I think it was dead.
So the Eagles have it in good shape. 1st and 10 at their own 43. Clock running. Our clock stopped momentarily at 5:55 left in the first quarter. Ron Jaworski. Long count. To the outside to Charlie Smith. Pass complete. Let's go to Brent Musburger and the NFL Today. And Brent, here it's 7-0 Dallas.
And you know, Charlie Smith is the other receiver, like Drew Pearson is the other receiver from Tony Hill. If you get double on Harold Carmichael, which you usually do, you should be able to use Charlie Smith, and they have.
Marion Campbell, who runs that fine Philadelphia defense. 2nd and 1. They give to Leroy Harris, who got the first down, but not by much. Randy White, the tackler.
Leroy Harris is a slow starter and has a tendency to cough the ball up, but he's been a key catcher of certain passes in key situations. Look at the Fox. He's talking to him about that last Dallas drive. He is a good coach, maybe the best defensive coach around.
And a member of the largest coaching staff in the NFL. The one that Dick Vermeil has assembled in Philadelphia. One of the best. Pitches back to Montgomery. And Montgomery breaks into the secondary. Wilbert Montgomery down to the 21. Benny Barnes made the saving tackle. Oh, this game would have been tied.
A great block by Jerry Sizemore. He's the All-American from Texas and one of the few #1 draft choices around on the Eagle team. Here's the toss. Sizemore gets outside and completely cut the linebacker down. Gets a good block by Guy Morris, the offensive center. And Wilbert Montgomery can make more happen after he gets into your secondary than almost any running back alive.
Very strong is Montgomery. He remains in the backfield with Leroy Harris. The Eagles first down at the Dallas 21. Jaworski for Smith. Has him. He lost it. Steve Wilson with a tremendous defensive play, starting in place of Aaron Mitchell, and Smith is still down.
He knocked the breath out of Charlie Smith, but it was a good, clean shot. Here's that flex defense. You're right in the almost in the linebacking area for the Cowboys. It was right on. This is a good defensive play. And Charlie Smith can take a shot and catch it. That is a real defensive play. The rush, they're doubling on Randy White. Dutton makes some penetration. And here's the tackle.
A good throw by Jaworski, but a good defensive play.
Is that his second pass? Jaworski?
He hit Smith right here.
1 for 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to foul you up over there.
Okay, after the play or before?
We don't want to miss the touchdown, you know. I'm just kidding. Charlie, boy, it's hard to get him on the ground, too. You've got to really knock the wind out of him to get him there. Boy, that Wilbert, is he a strong runner, though? They won it?
Yeah. So that puts them in, huh?
Cleveland wins the division. Got a shot of him coming off, Sandy. He's running off. He's running off toward the bench.
Back at Irving, Texas. Charlie Smith has been helped from the field.
He ran off. He was in pretty good shape once he got oxygen back into his lungs. There's Vermeil on the sidelines. You can see in the upper part with Marion Campbell.
Scott Fitzke has replaced Smith. And the Eagle offensive picture is the Cowboys make wholesale substitutions. Larry Cole comes in. Randy Hughes comes in. Dexter Clinkscale is also in on defense on 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Jaworski straight back. Fires. Intended for Fitzke. and slightly behind him.
And a crazy-looking formation. Absolutely no backs were in the backfield. They'd gone trips left, 2 double wings, and I'll tell you, Ron just loaded it up and threw behind Fitzke.
The Browns beat Cincinnati on that field goal, 27-24, so they win the division. And they, of course, are in the playoffs. Philadelphia third down, excuse me.
It's all right, one more shot, and then Tony Franklin will get his first chance today. He has 2 of his last 7. But he's got to kick a lot today if the Eagles plan to win.
Charlie Smith is back in the game and in the lineup. Flank wide to the left, out with Carmichael. Some movement in the Eagle offensive line, apparently. And the Cowboys took advantage.
I said earlier the Eagles came out awfully high. Of course, they're in the playoffs, and they're a good team. They might just be a little tight.
12th start, number 62, offense, still third down.
It's Petey Perot, the offensive left guard.
Jaworski 1 out of 3. That completion to Smith, who again is split wide to the left with Carmichael. Fitzke out to the right by himself.
There'll be some pass rush on Jaworski this time.
And he's expecting it. I don't think they're going to disappoint him. There, he fires to Fitzke, and Fitzke can't hang on as the blitz was on. Let's go again to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today. So that means 3 teams have qualified now in the AFC.
Tony Franklin is 3 of 10 from over 40 yards.
Franklin with Jaworski holding. This is from 43. The kick is lined, and it's no good to the left. Franklin misses, and Dallas takes over. He's had his problems.
It was long enough and strong enough. But he does hook it left. He's had his left leg injured making the tackle. And kickers are human too. Almost blocked there by Larry Cole, but he gets it off. It's driven far enough. It just caught the left side of the rough.
It had the distance, but it started going end around end instead of end over end.
Everybody wants to be a kicker except on Sunday, huh?
Sometimes it's not bad. 1st and 10 from the 26 for Dallas as Dorsett moves in behind Newhouse. Salvi in motion. Pitches back to Dorsett. No place to go is Jerry Robinson. What a fine young linebacker he is.
#1 draft out of UCLA, and we're seeing a lot of linebackers now at 215 or 216 that can run 4.5 or 4.4. He is not only quick, but he makes tackles like a 180-pound defensive back. Look at this tackle on one of the great runners in college and pro history. Superb.
Those of you who've been watching Minnesota and Houston, welcome to our broadcast from Texas Stadium, where it's Dallas 7, Philadelphia nothing. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Dallas has the football, 2nd and 12 at their own 24. 3:35 left in the first quarter. White. The protection throws to Tony Hill. And Hill hadn't quite completed his pattern before White got the ball there.
It looked like Hill was looking right into the eyes of Herman Edwards to try to get him to turn, but Edwards is a veteran, a very good one, right on the edge of going to the Pro Bowl and what have you. And he just would not be turned. He actually had as good a shot for this as Tony Hill did. The deep sidelines.
The game had started the same time we did in Anaheim, California. The Falcons 7, the Rams 3. We'll keep you posted on the progress of that one as well as here. Butch Johnson stood out wide to the left. Preston Pearson also in the backfield. And the spread is maneuvered by Dallas as White to Hill. Will have the first down, I believe. It might be just shy.
Keep
Roy
it.
L. Young knocked him out of bounds.
And remember, the Rams did a good job of blitzing the shotgun because they don't think that Danny White is quite a Roger Staubach in running. This time there was pressure from Harrison to the left, but after Danny White stayed in there, he had his feet down. It's a good throw.
And it's enough for a first down, Dallas, as they move the sticks now. Out to the 37. Look at it again.
Remember, Roger used to run so quickly out of this that he scared the pass rush to death. But Danny White stayed right in there, threw a strike.
From the 37. First down. Dorsett, who has some room. Around to the outside. He's cut down by Roy L. Young after it looked like that might be a play that would go the distance.
Boy, Claude Humphrey was playing left defensive end and came all the way inside and never even had a chance to lay a glove on Dorsett. Some new wrinkles, good-looking plays, and ones that the Eagles have not seen before.
4 yards, 2nd and 6. 7-0 Dallas. Dorsett had those 1,000-yard years as a professional. He did it in college, and he did it his last 2 years in high school.
He probably did it in Pop Warner ball, too. We never checked on that.
Handoff is to Dorsett. He'll have a first down at the 48. Jerry Robinson made the tackle, but good blocking by the Cowboys that time.
Good block by Rafferty on Carl Hairston. Number 64 came out and cut him down, and it's very hard to cut Hairston down. There's the Penn Stater going out, a little bit of a delay. Actually, he got bumped and knocked into Hairston.
Robert Shaw has now replaced John Fitzgerald at center for Dallas. Over on the Philadelphia bench, Ron Jaworski, the quarterback. Spectacular year he had. Guy Morris is the man he was talking to, the center. Dallas first down at their own 48. White. A little late with that one, intended for Tony Hill, as Herman Edwards had a pretty good run at it himself, didn't he?
The thing about Danny was that he came along so well till about the 8th game of the season. In the last half, one team got him for 5 interceptions, the Giants. The Redskins got him for 4. But he looks to me like he's got the touch today, and it looks like the game plan, he's involved in it. But you got to be careful throwing that thing.
That one had every chance to be picked off.
Sometimes when the quarterbacks take something off, they really open themselves up.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 48. 2:24 left first quarter, and Dallas leading 7-0 over Philadelphia. Dorsett swings it around to the outside, can't find much room, finally cuts back inside and makes something out of nothing. Dennis Harrison made the tackle.
Nobody has been able to run wide on the Eagles. Even O.J. Anderson, when he had 150-something when they beat Philadelphia early in the year, he did it with cutbacks, cutting back against the pursuit.
That was the Eagles' worst defeat of the year, by the way, by 10 points.
This is closed off outside. There's LeMaster waiting for him. Dorsett put it away and did make some yardage, didn't he?
Made 6, so it's 3rd and 4. In Eagle territory now at the 46 as Preston Pearson is in the backfield. And they give to Preston, and he will not have the first down. A surprise there. He doesn't carry it much from scrimmage. Carl Hairston made the tackle.
Well, the Eagles were in the pass rush defense, but Carl Hairston plays well wherever he goes.
An Eagle player shaken and down at about the 45. It is Hairston, I believe.
He threw himself under it. He is the guy, I guess, that epitomizes the work ethic football player. Not a big draft choice out of Maryland Eastern Shore, just a great football player, and plays hurt a lot.
As they work on Hairston, the Cowboys have sent in their punting unit, so it appears they're going to punt, but you never know in a situation like this.
Looked like he got his neck caught in there and somebody's knee hit it or something. Could you see, Sandy?
That's Jamona.
Yes. Yeah, is that what it was? I saw somebody's head snap back.
We must be.
Yeah, there he, look at this. Oh, that is some replay.
That's next.
Do you have time to use it? Do you have time to use it? Well, that is some play he makes here.
Yeah, that's what that note was. He hurt his hand. The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League.
The Eagles were in the over defense with a man over the center, but 4 down linemen. Look at this. Rafferty pulls the trap, and Harrison comes through to cut off the hole, makes a great play, but the whole pile came down on top of the defensive end.
Right now, let's go to Brent Busberger and the NFL Today. And they still administer to Carl Hairston. That would be a hard loss there.
Lotho Davis is the trainer, and the doctor there is an old orthopedic man I know pretty well, Dr. DeStefano. Boy, there is some football player. There's Charlie Johnson helping him off. But it's not all big shiny cars. It's a tough, tough game.
The Dallas punting unit is on, led by Danny White, standing back at his own 40. He can throw it, he can also run with it, and he's done both.
He's had 15 inside the 20.
He's waiting. Benny Barnes down there and downs it at the 1-yard line. What a player he's been on special teams.
And this is a play that both punters on both these teams do, Runniger and White. They'll say hold, and if there's no rush on them, they'll actually let their men get down, get ready for the kick, and then just drop it in there. Dickerson's down there. They're trying to block and keep Benny Barnes from getting it, but Herm Edwards couldn't do it.
Edwards was the man who was trying to block Barnes. And Danny White's punting is what kept Dallas in the Oakland game 2 weeks ago, as he put him inside the 5 twice.
And talk about tough field position. The goalpost is hanging over the huddle.
The Eagles will operate from their 1-yard line. 1st and 10 as Keith Prepway is the tight end. Jaworski late getting him. And the Eagle offensive unit waits for him in the end zone.
And he's letting the clock run down already. He'll run it down to under 10 seconds.
Dallas defensive unit remains the same. They're in the flex. Jaworski gives to Harris, and Harris gets nothing as the struggle continues. They throw him back into the end zone, led by John Dutton, but it won't be a safety.
They're running right at Randy White and Harvey Martin. Perot working, Stan Walters working, and I'm telling you, the offensive line could barely get to their own line of scrimmage. And there's Dutton.
About a yard pickup, make it 2nd and 9, just shy of the 2 for Jaworski, and again he waits, using up as much of the clock as he can.
And the defense is looking for a bobble or a fumble.
Double tight end setup for the Eagles now as Spagnola is in the game. Here is Montgomery to about the 3. Charlie Waters, again the safety man up close to the line of scrimmage, leads the tacklers.
And Randy White got in on another tackle. How would you like to go up against a team and have a double blocking situation every game, every snap? There are at least 2 people responsible for 54.
Here comes Scott Fitzke checking in, and Spagnola comes out. By the way, that victory by New England over New Orleans eliminates Pittsburgh from the playoff picture. That's the end of the first quarter with Dallas leading.
funny. Third down. 42%.
Third down for Philadelphia at their own 4-yard line.
I think the Eagles might be a little conservative on this third down call just to make sure they don't turn the ball over, because they're going to get a pass rush that's going to be horrendous. And Jaworski has been very careful this year, only 12 interceptions.
Dallas is expecting pass as Jaworski again looks to the sideline to the Eagle bench. They've got their pass defending unit in there, which includes Hughes and Clint Scale, Dickerson.
And you better put a bell on Randy White.
Jaworski on third has Scott Fitzke out wide to the right. And he is going to throw, and does, for Carmichael. And Carmichael broke off the pattern. I think Jaworski's faked him as much as anybody else. And the Eagles will have to punt.
He got some pressure from the left side, or your right side right now. Let's see if it was Ed Jones. I believe it was Larry Cole that sort of went by thrashing and might have just taken his concentration off the throw.
Eagle kicker Max Runniger. And you're behind him and looking. James Jones is chased back to the 48-yard line where he heads back upfield with some running room. Jones to the 40. And Dallas will operate 10 yards deep in Philadelphia territory. First down, Gimona made the tackle.
What a tremendous punt that was from the end zone. He's only 22 years old, but that was some drive.
7-0 Dallas in the second quarter.
You know, he kicked that thing. He was on the almost the back line.
Yeah.
He kicked it to the 47,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he got a hang time on that. Like, uh-oh.
Jones.
Jones hurt?
Yeah.
Here comes your doc.
There's Dr. Knight.
There he is.
Get my coat off. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. James Jones, the Cowboys' fine young punt returner, was shaken up on that last return and is being assisted off the field right now.
You don't average 27 points a game on offense and not have the ability to score. The Cowboys can rack up points, and quickly.
It is 7-0 Dallas at the moment in the opening seconds of quarter number 2. Dallas touchdown, a quarterback sneak by Danny White. First and 10 at the 40. Newhouse. For about 4 before Claude Humphrey. At the half, Brent Nerve with scores and highlights of those big games around the league. And Brent also talks about Oakland's move to Los Angeles in the Coliseum.
Claude Humphrey is normally not in on running downs. He's having to play a left defensive end right now, number 87, a great veteran, a great old pro. That surprises me that he's in there and Bigfoot Harrison is not. Oh, wait, Bigfoot Harrison is playing for Carl Harrison.
He has moved to the other side. Harrison was shaken up earlier, so was Charlie Smith. As Danny White drops. With a lot of time, he's going for Tony Hill, and he's got him. Touchdown.
That's the 8th touchdown catch for Tony Hill, and the pass blocking was out of sight, and Danny White really had his feet set.
And Tony Hill really clobbered one of our cameramen. Watch him hit the cameraman as he goes out of the end zone.
He's running a fly, a straight, or a 9, whatever you call it. But look, as Bigfoot Harrison gets caught inside, Scott picks up on him too, all the time in the world, and this ball is right on. Herman Edwards is fairly close. But this is a perfect touchdown pass, catch, and as you say, then run into the cameraman.
It was not one of our cameramen, but he does seem to be okay. Set in with Waters holding. 14-0 Dallas. The Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead in the opening seconds of the second quarter. 14-0 for the team of Landry. Yep.
Baby, if you think this team can't score points, playing against them, you're like walking on a dozen eggs. You know that?
Yeah.
Every play they can put it on the board.
I said it wasn't. I said it wasn't.
But if if he was killed, even if he was an NBC cameraman, we'd be unhappy, wouldn't we? Did he protect the camera? That's all. Don't hurt the equipment.
Well, like I told him. I said he got
Okay.
Sandy, give me a Dickerson on this 51, will you? They're working on the camera. The lens got a bad lens now.
They're trying to get the camera out of his head. Dallas leading 14-0. Billy Campfield deep, number 37 for the Eagles. 70 in, 70 kick. Short kick. It'll be handled, I think, by Harrington. And Perry Harrington gets behind the wedge and now gets out from behind it. And is taken down by Guy Brown. And the Eagle, a scuffle going on again.
I believe it's LeMaster, number 55, and maybe D.D. Lewis, 2 linebackers. Here's Dickerson, number 51. That's Chesley hitting him a shot there, the young linebacker out of Pittsburgh. There's LeMaster and Dickerson. It's 2 points for a takedown.
They're not close friends, I don't believe. At the 33, 1st and 10 for Philadelphia. Scott Fitzke still in the game for Charlie Smith and split wide to the right. Carmichael out left. Jaworski finally unloads and completes it to Fitzke for a first down. What an effort by Ron Jaworski. Benny Barnes on the tackle.
He stood in the pocket, and he was being hit as D.D. Lewis came from the weak side on a blitz. Let's see it happen. This is one of the great throws that Jaworski will ever make. Watch behind him. D.D. Lewis rolls up, grabs him by the leg. Somebody else, Harvey Martin, had a shot at him, and he still found the kid from Penn State, Scott Fitzke.
And it's a first down, Philadelphia, at their own 47. Some breathing room this time on this possession for the Eagles. They still have Montgomery and Harris as the running backs. So this is Montgomery. Tackled by D.D. Lewis for about a 4-yard loss.
Leroy Harris, the fullback, took a shot at D.D. Lewis, and that KG veteran just made the fullback completely miss him. Jerry Sizemore said trying to block against that flex defense is so hard because you never know where they're really going to end up. Watch the right part of your screen. Number 20 missed 50, and Dede doesn't miss many tackles like that.
And Montgomery came off the field flexing his left arm like it might have been stung a little bit. And now Harris remains as the lone setback on 2nd down and 15. Ball back at the 42 down. Dallas leading 14-0. Spagnola and Crepflo both split wide. Jaworski back, chased by White, and taken down by Randy White.
Randy White, he used the shiver coming off. Watch right in the left part of your screen. He goes outside of Perot. Only in his 2nd year, an offensive guard has a lot to learn before he can block 54.
By himself. 3rd and 23 make it.
It looked like they were doubling up on Dutton, and they let Randy White get a single solo block. I don't understand that at all.
He's so happy to see a one-man block on him. is in a strange formation. Again, Jaworski under pressure. The ball was deflected. Somebody hit his arm. Benny Barnes might have had a shot as the Dallas defense rises to the occasion.
It might have been Ed Jones. Ed Jones and Harvey Martin both get to Jaworski very quickly. The Eagles moved up, anticipating the blitz. They picked the blitz up pretty well, but watch what happens. Ed Jones got the forearm.
On the way down. That's like a tree falling on you. James Jones back deep for Dallas. Apparently okay, and Max Runniger not kicking for the first time out of his own end zone. Over on the Dallas bench, a pass pattern we might see developing. Runniger again hits a good high kick, and Jones comes up to field it. Does. Jones swings straight ahead up to about the 39-yard line where the Cowboys will take over. And that offensive unit on this cold 40-degree day, and Dallas can't wait to get out on the field and get at it again. 14-0, Dallas over Philadelphia.
Is that what he said? 11-0. We can use that lamp a little bit. It's getting cold, isn't it? If somebody was beating on us, Lance, we wouldn't think it was cold, right? When somebody's beating on you, you'd feel like you're a wood-burning stove. Of course, I'm a little bit hurt anyway today. Okay.
I think. Yeah. I haven't really.
Sandy? Sandy? You want to give me Bergie on this? 66?
$11:29 left in the first half at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys leading Philadelphia 14-0. They have to win by 25 in order to be the NFC's Eastern Division champion.
That's the last goal. That's the last goal that Vermeil is trying to accomplish, is winning the division and knocking Dallas out.
Dallas has it 1st and 10 at their own 40. Hill and Pearson to the right, and now Pearson, Drew this is, goes in motion. The fake is to Dorsett. White is going to run and runs out of bounds. Looking for somebody, chased out by Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle.
The misdirection plays are confusing the Eagle defense a little bit, but it sure shows that your nose tackle, if they pursue and keep after it, can do the job. If Charlie Johnson hadn't shown up from inside, Danny White would have picked up the first down.
As it was, he only got 3, so make it 2nd and 7. Saldi checks in with the play. Dupree goes out.
Teams have only been able to rush against Philadelphia the average 27 rushing plays a game. But Dallas has been doing some pretty good running inside a little bit in this game.
Some different things. And as bad as they looked against Los Angeles on Monday night, they look just that good so far today. Hill in motion. Here's the blitz from the outside. And a catch by Dorsett, and Jerry Robinson again. Put the wood to Tony D.
Tony D is going to ask what Danny White or what Tom Landry has against him. Jerry Robinson is so quick to try this play on him out there. The fortunate thing for Dallas was that he didn't play the ball, because he could have taken the ball before Tony D even touched it.
Might have been better off for Tony not to catch it. Early Waters over on the sideline. A gray, overcast day in Dallas, but a very enthusiastic crowd out of the spread. Danny White will operate. The Eagles put on a good 4-man rush. Hill has it. Tony Hill inside Eagle territory. First down, Dallas.
That might have been the play we saw on that sideline chalkboard. A deep post. He gets off very quickly. A 4-man rush with a stunt. and the Dallas offensive line blocked it. Clark got pretty close. This ball is beautifully thrown, and Tony Hill can jump out of the building to catch it. Here's what happened up front. The Eagles are in that over defense out of the four-man rush. Some penetration.
But a good throw by White and a first down Cowboys at the Eagle 41. They keep converting on third. Here's Dorsett again. Dorsett to the outside for about 6. Charlie Johnson, Bruce Thornton, as the entire Cowboy bench is standing and cheering.
Good play by Rafferty that time in blocking Jerry Robinson, and the great thing was that Dorsett didn't hurry it. He waited for the block and stepped through the hole.
Berge comes out of the Philadelphia defense for a little breather, and Al Chesley comes in. Andy White, 8 out of 11.
Big play here for the first half. Large play for both teams.
2nd and 3 it is. Line of scrimmage, the Eagle 34. Dallas on top, 14-0. A switch in the Eagles secondary as Newhouse hesitated, and the Eagles had time to recover. Claude Humphrey. Let's go to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today. And boy, it's been a wild, wild year for the Cleveland Browns.
How about Cockcroft? He's a conventional kicker, too.
Yeah, he's a member of our group.
A first down was picked up by Newhouse by about the length of the ball. And he also didn't hurry the run. He waited for the hole to open up.
It'll be first down at the Eagle 31. Clock running at 8:39 left in the first half. Dallas leading 14-0.
Or trailing 11-0, right?
That point margin so very important. Ron Springs and Dorsett in the backfield for Dallas. White throws. He had to hurry as he was chased by the blitzing Randy Logan. Chiefs and the Colts. Kansas City 38, Baltimore 28.
A great bit of coverage by Ronell Young, the #1 draft choice for the Eagles. He had solo coverage on Tony Hill in the post corner, and he was waiting for the ball. Great coverage.
Raphael Septien over in case he's needed, loosening things up. At the 31, 2nd and 10. Double tight ends again for Dallas. That's Dorsett. And Tony gets down to about the 25 before the Eagles pile him up, led by Randy Logan.
Again running at Claude Humphrey, who's having to play defensive left end against the run. He's been the pass rusher, but they're running right at the great player that used to be with the Falcons. Came out of retirement because Marion Campbell was doing the defense for Philadelphia.
Carl Hairston, by the way, is standing on the sideline and doesn't appear to be seriously injured, but that's the reason that Humphrey is having to play. It'll be 3rd and 5. Dallas 5 out of 8 on 3rd down conversion. They use Butch Johnson as well as the 2 regular wide receivers. And out of the spread, White looks. Knocked down, intended for Dorsett, but a penalty marker down on the right-hand side of the field.
Away from the ball, Jerry Robinson made a great call, but they're going to call, I think, over here on Drew Pearson.
Against the Eagles.
Might be Richard Blackmore, who comes in on the nickel defense.
This, of course, brings with it an automatic first down.
What a play by Robinson.
A diving save for naught. Here's the call.
Holding, defense, first down.
They did not, as you heard, identify who did it, but it's a first down Dallas at the 21-yard line now of Philadelphia.
Again, you can only chuck that receiver in that first 5 yards, and you're not supposed to hold him at all.
Dorsett and Newhouse. Dick Vermeil really upset. They give to Newhouse. Newhouse breaks into the secondary down to about the 13-yard line. About 8 yards for the short one.
Big Robert Shaw is coming of age, the offensive center. Watch number 52. He's in there for Fitzgerald. He's working against Charlie Johnson and drives Charlie Johnson right out of the hole. Great offensive block by the center. Now you can see the hole open up. They cut off Bigfoot Harrison. That's Scott on that side going through on the linebacker, and Shaw did a tremendous job.
The word on Bill Berge is that he got cracked on the knee and may or may not be back, so the young linebacker Al Chesley is playing in his place. And Berge so very important to that middle of the Philadelphia defense. Dorsett slams down to about the 5.
Dorsett is now carried for 9 carries and will have over 40 yards. And Dallas is taking it to him right inside.
And it'll be 1st and goal for the Cowboys at the 6 with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the first half. And Dallas already leading 14-0.
And getting more confident.
And that 25-point margin, which seemed almost insurmountable against this great Philadelphia defense, is shrinking a bit. 1st and goal at the 6. The give is to Dorsett. He cracks to about the 4 before the Eagles pile him up.
Good defense that time. The nose man got out and helped Chesley, the young linebacker, make the tackle.
Second down.
Jerry Tubbs, the linebacker coach, used to be the linebacker here, said before the game, sometimes Dallas is better when they don't have a lot of time to prepare. He said sometimes we think of too many ways to coach, and this time it was a short week after the Los Angeles debacle.
They had to fly all night Monday night. And of course lost that valuable day of practice. There's the book on Dorsett. He is joined by Ron Springs, number 20 in the backfield now. That good straight ahead runner. Salvi. The pitch is out to Dorsett. And Tony's got no place to go. Herman Edwards wrestled him to the ground. The Eagles say the ball came loose too early, and it should belong to us.
Talk about a smart play at cornerback. Herm Edwards came up and just closed it off. And as you said, TD had nowhere to go with it.
Dorsett just barely made the catch of the pitch out.
I think we got offensive holding, too, on the same play.
They'll probably take this penalty since it's a major one, rather than have them lose the down.
Dick Vermeil, you can see him upper left there, has taken some of the hard work away from the Eagles, let them the last couple of weeks sort of have shorter workouts and on a grass field in Philadelphia, so they're not on the AstroTurf and get their legs back.
What is a short workout for him? 2.5 hours?
2.5 to 3 hours, yeah. But he works as hard as the players do, or harder.
They still apparently haven't decided if they want to take the penalty, and now they have, as it's marked off against Dallas.
Holding left end. Offense, still second down.
Dick Jorgensen doesn't want to tell us who does these things.
Maybe he doesn't know the numbers.
Left end. Could be anybody. As many formations as they use.
Now it's yours again, Roy.
So it is still second down, but now it's 14. Second and goal from the 14. 5 minutes exactly left in the first half, and Dallas leading 14-0 over Philadelphia.
Tony Hill against Roynell Young to the right part of the screen there.
And trying to set up the screen, they can't do it. Humphrey. That's picked off by Philadelphia, by Robinson. And he can run. And Robinson. Here comes Dorsett. Robinson still on his feet. Blockers in front of him. And finally, it's Tony Dorsett. And did you see him? How fast he closed that gap.
I couldn't believe the play. First, the ball was thrown into heavy traffic by Danny White. There is the flag back down.
Penalty marker down. And again, it's going to be against the Eagles, I believe.
They're going to probably call defensive holding against the screen. I don't know how Robinson got the ball.
Tony Dorsett lit the afterburner and closed the gap on Robinson like I have never seen happen before.
And of course, if a screen sets up, you try to grab the fellow they're getting the ball to and hold him somewhere and get containment.
We've been telling you how fast Robinson is. Dorsett caught him twice, missed him, and finally caught him again. And the whole thing comes back.
Please give us a number this time.
Holding, defense, first down.
And it's an automatic first down for Dallas. Let's go back and look at that again.
Bigfoot Harrison wants to know what the number was, too. Here it is. They ran both receivers deep. They're trying to set up the screen to the left side of the formation. Scott and Donovan have already gone there. Humphrey makes contact with LeMaster. And somewhere in there is how Jerry Robinson makes the interception of his life.
Now he's leaving Rafferty, but watch his streak come into the picture. Dorsett went by, and now watch him run him down again.
Here's Dorsett back into the picture again.
And now we come back live. It's first and goal from the 9. For Pearson, touchdown, I believe, but I heard a whistle. Penalty marker is not down yet.
It's just a lob to Drew, and you try to get the young cornerback to get turned around. Roynell Young had great position.
It is against Dallas. They used too much time. What a series this has been.
Delay, violation of the 30-second count before the snap. Offense, still first down.
That may be a very important clock that they let run down.
If they do have to try a field goal, Septien might be worn out from warming up. As long as this drive has been, if you could call it a drive.
And if you're wearing green today, you've got to say, we've got to stay in the game, keep our poise, and try to come back and play the heck out of the second half.
It is still first down, if you can believe it. And we're back at the 14-yard line again. It's still first and goal from the 14. The fake, and White keeps it himself. Danny White out of bounds and stops the clock at about the 9.
The Cowboys have come with reverses, with double reverse on the first play. This time he fakes it in, and watch the Eagle defense go for the ball carrier. LeMaster comes through. Everybody goes after the fake E, and Danny White ends up with the football. But Herm Edwards played it pretty smart. Held it to, what, a 5-yard gain, huh?
He stayed right with it. So about a 5-yard gain is right. Yeah, so now it is second and goal at the 9. Got to admire this Philadelphia defense for this stand that they've put up.
Only have one tight end. You've got Drew Pearson and Tony Hill to the same side of the formation.
Salvi is the tight end to the left. White. Philadelphia has the blitz going. Intended for Pearson. And nothing doing, as Roynell Young was right there with him the whole time.
I have never seen a young cornerback play with so much maturity as Roynell Young, and people have been throwing the ball over there all year thinking he's young. That's just his name. He can really play.
And he is young. Tom Landry looking for information. Dick Vermeil looking for answers at the moment. It'll be third down and 9. Third down at the 9, I should say. It's third and goal. They've got to score. Preston Pearson lined up in the backfield. There's Danny White. Swings back into the spread shotgun formation. Eagles do blitz it. For Pearson, touchdown! The Eagles blitz, and the Cowboys picked it up and caught him. Bernard Wilson was the defender.
The second touchdown of the year for the grand old man. He comes out of there on third down out of the shotgun, and you can work all week and look at every movie in the world. You don't know how he gets open, but he's always had a great soft pair of hands.
Raphael Septien with Charlie Waters to hold.
The blitz came, and Danny really lofted a clean pass.
21-0 Dallas with 4:27 left in the first half. Let's go to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today. And it's a wild one here, although the score is very one-sided, 21-0 Dallas at the moment. But those points are so very, very important.
Dallas now trails by 5, huh? 4 for a tie.
And if they wind up exactly 25, they win.
That's right.
Okay.
Boy, is that Preston Pearson? For anybody that's 35 and over in their whole life?
He's got to be 45.
Got to be 45.
That's right.
That's it. It's going to be some halftime.
Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Raphael Septien set to kick off. It's 21-0 Dallas. Billy Campfield. Straight ahead. Stays on his feet, breaking a bunch of tackles. Gets out to the 30-yard line. Let's look at that touchdown and watch the expressions of Vermeil and Landry.
Out of the shotgun. The lob to, number 26. He gets chucked. Here's the throw, and watch the coaches.
It's hard to tell who scored from that reaction.
For Tom Landry, that was jubilation.
Yeah. Look how long they had the football. Of course, there were some minor interruptions here and there. 3 penalties.
Jaworski is 2 of 7 for only 23 yards, and the Eagles have to score in some way before half.
This is Montgomery. Stacked up quickly after a couple. Dallas defense led by Harvey Martin this time.
The ground game has been virtually stopped except for Wilbert Montgomery's 1 run.
Montgomery is out now. Dallas expecting pass. Scott Fitzke is in, so the Eagles will go with Carmichael and Fitzke to the right and 2 tight ends to the left on 2nd and 8. Dallas expecting pass and showing blitz. Brinkscale right up in the line of scrimmage. Jaworski looking at no deep men. Passes to Carmichael. Pass interference. That had to be as Randy Hughes went up with Harrell.
And that would have been Harold Carmichael's first reception. It won't go down in the books as a catch. Randy Hughes went over the top, and Randy's tall. Randy's 6'3.5". But Harold Carmichael is at least 6'9". Good lob pass. I think it's a good thing Hughes did it. I believe Carmichael would have caught that.
How many consecutive games has he got now? 127?
127.
In which he has caught a pass, but not one yet today. Jaworski now has the first down, and the clock running at 3:27 left in the first half, and Dallas leading 21-0. Line of scrimmage the 45. The Eagles with their backs to the wall now. The fake is to Montgomery. The throw. Pass is blocked away as Thurman puts a hit. Steve Wilson.
But Carmichael was out of bounds when he took that shot.
Steve Wilson, the defender, and Carmichael was really popped by Dennis Thurman.
Here's Steve Wilson on the he has the inside coverage, the short coverage. Here comes Thurman over. If that isn't a yellow flag, they won't be flying today. They're going to let them play, I guess.
Carmichael's still down.
The ball was nowhere around, you know.
The ball had already been knocked down by Steve Wilson.
Pretty good pass action here. The ball is gone. Let's see what happens on the sideline. Knocked down and knocked out.
That perhaps deserved a flag.
Well, we've seen them even drop the flag for taunting. I certainly think they could drop the flag on that.
That was a little bit more than jamming.
Here's Carmichael. He's watching the ball. Good play by Wilson. Thurman just came over and took one.
Carmichael still being attended to. Meantime, back on the field, it'll be 2nd and 10. The Eagles second down, at their own 45 with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the first half. Rodney Parker, as the Eagle receiving corps is somewhat decimated now with Smith already gone, and now Carmichael down.
Well, he's getting back up, but Thurman was not playing the ball at all. He simply wanted to make contact. That's why the flag should have been dropped.
Art McNally, who is the supervisor of the officials in the NFL, is here. And the word that we get from him is it is a judgment call, that kind of maneuver. And in the judgment of the official, that was not unnecessary roughness.
Everything's a judgment call.
Rodney Parker and Scott Fitzke out wide to the right. The Eagles again put one of the running backs in this place, Camfield, right up close to the line. Jaworski on 2nd down, drops and throws. Again, the pass was deflected as the Cowboy heat took its toll of Jaworski.
Ed Jones and Larry Cole put so much heat on number 7, and it looked to me like the receiver did not turn his pattern into a short one and allow the quarterback to dump it to him. He has to wait. He doesn't have much time. Here comes Harvey Martin and Ed Jones.
Intended receiver was Keith Krepfling. And so it'll be 3rd and 10. Harold Carmichael, as we look down at the Eagle bench, seems to be okay and is up and walking around, and would appear that he'll be back. Dallas again faking blitz. Jaworski looking at it. And again he has to throw. This time it's complete. That's to Rodney Parker, and Jaworski gets enough for a first down.
What a clutch throw and a great catch by young Parker, who has come in several times during the year for Philadelphia and made the big catch. A lot of heat's being put on the quarterback, and if you think these two teams don't like one another, you're absolutely right. This was some throw.
Steve Wilson is number 45. Charlie Waters over to help, but it's a Philadelphia first down and a big one. Ball moves into Dallas territory now to the 44. Spagnola, the tight end, to the right with Krepfling. And they run in that direction with Harris. Harris breaks into the secondary, would have another Eagle first down.
Woody Peoples, the right guard, did some job that time. You don't see holes opened up like that. Let's see if the Dallas flex was stunning. Peoples just took Dutton on, straight on, and blew him right off the line of scrimmage. And number 20 rolled through a big hole.
Perot got a good block on the linebacker, Brunig.
The two guards, and that was the questionable area, did a great job on that one. The Eagles, if they're going to stay in this game, must get on the board with something.
2 minutes left now, as both coaches are notified of that fact. 2 minutes left in the first half with the Cowboys leading 21-0.
Sandy, if this one doesn't end up in a full-scale brawl, I'm going to be surprised. I've seen a couple of things that weren't even around the play where they chased each other into the other guy's bench.
No. Or the same quarterback.
Oh, isn't that the truth? 20 minutes. places. How many timeouts? Philadelphia have 3 left. Sorry, what?
The Cowboys leading 21-0, much to the delight of this sold-out crowd and their cheerleaders.
They're going to go entertain the troops in Korea. They're going to leave on Christmas to go over there, and for 12 days they're going to entertain the troops.
The cheerleaders, you mean?
Yes.
Not the team.
No.
At the 32-yard line, 1st and 10, Carmichael is back in the game and flanked to the left. Jaworski and the Eagles need some points. Penalty marker down, and so is Jaworski on the blitz by Mike Hegman.
3 or 4 Dallas people jumped, and then somebody looked like moved at the offensive right tackle spot.
I think Leroy Harris came up with a preliminary start. Offside Dallas, he says. Harris, of course, can move as long as he gets set.
Like the right side linebacker came just a half a step early and didn't quite get back.
Brent Nerve, but scores and highlights, and Brent reports on Oakland's
Offside, number 58.
move to the Los Angeles
Defense,
Coliseum.
still first down.
58 is Mike Hegman, who sacked Jaworski, but he was offside. Minute 56 left first half.
2 tight ends in for Philadelphia, and remember, Krepfle only had his knee operated on 2.5 weeks ago. He is not full speed.
Had to chase him off the practice field, I heard. Jaworski to Harris. And again, he got some running room, this time to about the 23 before John Dutton made the stop.
Again, if the pass rush is what you're living by, and the Cowboys have certainly done that, it makes it much easier to go to a basic ground game for a while and open them up down the middle. Montgomery has 30 yards on 7 carries. He's in there now.
And Harris comes out. Pitches back to Montgomery. He breaks a couple of tackles. Fumbles!
If you think Wilbert Montgomery isn't tough, he broke
And
2
strong.
tackles. And strong.
Dallas has a player down. D.D. Lewis is shaken up on the play.
I think Montgomery's hurt under that pile, too.
They may never get him out of there. And they're still trying to separate the players.
Stan Walters, number 75.
And now the officials are saying Philadelphia has the football.
Here's D.D. Lewis now, the linebacker that has been hurt on it, getting over into the play. Wilbert cuts back against the grain. Some contact there.
Dennis Thurman appeared to have a chance at coming up with the fumble. Montgomery is also getting up slow. And it's a timeout, Philadelphia.
It's a contact game. And these 2 teams, all squads, all of them are loaded up to really hit each other. Breaks that tackle, gets back against the grain. There's D.D. Lewis's shot. The ball is definitely loose.
And D.D. is back up and walking around. He seems to have shaken it off. Montgomery is still down. Montgomery, that strong runner, although he's not all that big, only about 2'5", but great strength.
And he had the bad knee early in the year. In the Dallas game, he had to leave after like the first few minutes. But he gives the offense everything they need. He's the big running back that can catch, the strong running back that can catch, I should say. He could be the greatest 6th-round draft choice anybody ever made.
Both teams, by the way, have 2 timeouts left. This one belongs to the Eagles as they still look at Montgomery. 21-0 Dallas. The NFC wild card game next week. And there still are a lot of possibilities.
A lot of people have reservations to different cities, don't they? Including us. Montgomery came in as not only the leading rusher, but also the leading receiver on the Eagles team. With people like Carmichael and Charlie Smith and Prepley, he's still the leading receiver. You can't replace a Wilbert Montgomery with a substitute.
His backup is Louis Giamona. Montgomery still a little bit woozy, is up now. Started in the wrong direction, and now he limps toward the Eagle bench.
I'll bet he gets a hand from the crowd.
He should. Jaworski, in the meantime, has been over talking with Vermeil about what he'd like to have done.
The man from Abilene Christian, right here in Texas. Here's the hit. Oh.
He hit the ground hard. The ball came loose. Dennis Thurman had a shot at it, but the Eagles get it back. After all that, Montgomery did get a first down at the 15-yard line, so it's 1st and 10 at the 15. Charlie Smith, by the way, is back in the game for Philadelphia. Prepley in motion. Jaworski is going to throw and does. Pass batted up into the air. Penalty marker goes down again. Benny Barnes, the defender.
It's almost the exact play that the Eagles scored a touchdown against Dallas in Philadelphia on.
Stan Walters down almost in a praying position to the referee. It's against Philadelphia.
Offensive interference on Charlie Smith.
Jaworski really upset. Down talking to the official who made the call. And the Eagles are really hot.
Offense, still first down.
They called it on the receiver for pushing off. Benny Barnes was about 7 yards off. Solo coverage. It's the quick post. Prepley had gotten the short zone cleared out. And the contact is taking place before we're going to see it.
It is still first down, but now they need 20. And the ball is back at the 25 with Dallas leading 21-0. Jaworski has his Eagles out. No flag. Jaworski fires down the middle. Pass was almost caught. A remarkable effort by Scott Fitzke, but he couldn't hang on. Dennis Thurman, the defender. And we'll have this one coming right at you.
Fitzke's the young Penn State flanker a few years ago that has the great hands. He came back from a broken bone early in the year, and he and Charlie Smith have real competition for the other receiving spot. Look at this attempt.
He had it for a moment, and when he hit the ground, he lost the handle. Randy White jumping to get back on sides. It'll be 2nd down 20.
Looks like Jaworski is getting some time in the pocket, though, now.
That is almost a spectacular catch. Rodney Parker now is also in the game with Charlie Smith. Parker out to the right. Fitzke and Smith out to the left. Carmichael still sitting. Jaworski with time throws. Has it. Down to about the 17-yard line. Giamona, the pass receiver. Charlie Walters made the tackle. Clock still running with less than a minute left to play in the first half. A timeout, Philadelphia.
Jerry Sizemore is doing some job with Ed Too Tall Jones. Sizemore at about 265 is giving up about 5 inches and 30 pounds. That is some battle on that side.
The event you might be wondering why Dallas lost a timeout. On those injuries, the one to D.D. Lewis and the one to Wilbert Montgomery, both teams were charged with a timeout, which is a rare happening. And also, by the way, on the field goal earlier that Tony Franklin missed, Jaworski was the holder. And that is not normally the case. Shira is usually his holder. But he hurt his hand on the kickoff earlier.
This time of the season, everybody's carrying 4 or 5 bumps. And you just tape them and spray them and go.
It'll be third down, Philadelphia. They still need 11 for a first. They have one more timeout, and we have 52 seconds left to play in the first half.
I notice Carmichael is over talking to Jaworski and Vermeil and the people, but he has not come back in the game since he was shelled out of bounds.
There he is. He'll probably check him carefully at the half. And if he is indeed okay, he'll be back.
He'd be a very important person to have trying to get a touchdown going in.
They took Charlie Smith into the locker room for x-rays and brought him back. He just checks back into the huddle before Jaworski does. Dallas is the most difficult team in the NFL to throw against. They have allowed the lowest percentage of completion in the entire league.
Jaworski says their rush is the hardest to figure out, and they always get their hands up after they make their initial charges.
And they're all tall. Hanfield and Gimona, the two running backs behind Jaworski. They will settle for a field goal. They don't necessarily want one. Long count. Jaworski completes his pass. It will not be a first down. Rodney Parker made the catches. The heat was on Jaworski again. And the person of the linebacker.
Good grab and a quick throw.
I believe that's Anthony Dickerson.
Dickerson blitzed. Pretty well handled. Billy Barnes can play a pretty solid corner, can't he?
Here comes Tony Franklin with 28 seconds to go. The clock running now less than that. Philadelphia with one timeout remaining. Dallas with two. And Franklin, who's had his problems in the last 2 weeks particularly, will have a strange holder again. And the person of Jaworski, who's in a discussion now with one of the referees, and now the Eagles use their last timeout.
He's 7 of 11 between the 30 and the 39.
And this one would be, what, about 28 yards?
Yes, the problem is that he left one out against St. Louis last week to the right side. He just hooked the first one down here. Got to try to get a good solid takeaway and let the leg just work, huh?
Christmas Day. The NBA on CBS. The Boston Celtics. Larry Bird and the bunch that's doing so well against the exciting and young New York Knickerbockers. And then the Blue-Gray game. I hear that they have the finest roster of athletes that they've had in that game for a long, long time.
Yeah, on the NBA, of course, it's going to be Gary Bender with Big Bill Russell and Rick Barry. Be a good way to spend Christmas Day.
Of course, we'll be traveling to the Sun Bowl that afternoon.
The land of the burrito is waiting for us.
In El Paso to watch that good lineup. Nebraska against Mississippi State.
I can't believe Carmichael hasn't been put back in.
Particularly in this situation.
Even if just a decoy. Even if just a decoy.
So Jaworski will hold for Tony Franklin. It'll be 27.5 yards out. Franklin, the barefoot kicker, of course, from Texas A&M. And it is wide to the left. No good.
A kicker must have the loneliest life in the world of sports.
You have no friends when that happens. Not even your wife.
He has kicked them 67 yards. He's kicked one here last year, 52 yards or 55 yards on a Monday night. Let's see if Jaworski got the good hold. He had a little trouble getting it. The foot is already coming. And it's pointing forward. That's not good.
There's Wilbert Montgomery heading into the tunnel that leads into the Eagle locker room. Cowboys will let it run out. And they lead at the end of the first half at Texas Stadium by the astonishing score of 21-0. Dallas 21, Philadelphia nothing.
Sandy, Vermeil's out talking to the officials. They're out in the middle of the field walking. See him? said to that official. We could do a lip sync on that. Right. Cowboys didn't do some job preparing that offense.
Wow.
Did they come out sharp and crisp?
NFL Charities was formed back in 1973 by the National Football League as a means for them to fund worthy causes at a national level. Since then, commitments of almost $3.5 million have been made, including one to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which is represented here today by its president, John Erickson.
You can take my picture. Take.
Are we free? Sandy? Oh. Okay, good. I just have to go to the men's room. Okay.
$1 have been made, including one to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which is represented here today by its president, John Erickson, and from the National Football League, the coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Tom Landry.
Thank you, Pat. It's a real privilege for me to represent the NFL owners and the directors of NFL charity in honoring FCA, which I've been a part of for many years. It's a real pleasure for me to have this opportunity to present this $25,000 check to a good friend and the president of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, John Erickson. John?
Thank you, Tom, very much. It's a very much of an honor for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes to receive this, and we're grateful to the NFL charities for this opportunity. This grant will be used to send young athletes and coaches from the inner cities of the NFL communities to the FCA national conferences next summer in 1981. So again, we thank you very, very much, and Tom and Pat and all of America, the Fellowship, wishes all of you a very blessed Christmas season. Thank you.
Happy holidays and dissolve to one.
Yeah. Those are the fellows who are at the other end of this headset that we wear here. And
Sandy Grossman and Stenner in the group down in the truck. In the engine room, as we call it.
We ought to take this opportunity, too, to say happy holidays, and we hope it's great for you.
And a healthy one.
It sure has been good for us.
It's the craziest first half we'll ever see. The team, the Eagles, that allow people 96 yards rushing per game average. The Cowboys have 107 yards rushing on 22 carries, Dorsett with 43 and Drew Pearson with 32 on the first run. I can't think of a better offensive game plan than Landry and his staff had come up with. They were really sharp.
I think I know, but what do you suppose Dick Vermeil said to his Eagles at the half?
Well, thank heavens we do not have a microphone in there. I know that he wants intensity, and he claims his team plays at the highest level every game of anybody in pro football, and this second half will decide whether that's true or not.
As you know, if Dallas wins by 25 points, they are the NFC's Eastern champion. Right now it's 21-0 Cowboys, and it looks like it's going to be one wheel of a second half.
Let's do it.
The halftime stats that Tom was talking about a minute ago, you can see how Dallas has indeed dominated things.
Each team has been penalized, the Eagles 6 times, and the Dallas team 5 times. We've had stars carried off the field already. Some will return, and we'll set that lineup to make sure we know who is playing.
All right, this is Raphael set the end to kick off, and this time he hits it well. Campfield from the 1. He's had some good returns already today. And he's got another one. Campfield out to about the 28-yard line. The 2 quarterbacks in the first half, Ron Jaworski for Philadelphia and Danny White for Dallas. And there's your comparison. Frustrating for Ron. 9 of 14 for 102 and 2 touchdowns for Danny White.
And of course, Jaworski, the last drive, was getting good pass blocking, good protection, and appeared to have a little bit of tempo. I think he needs Harold Carmichael back in there right now. We've got 2 tight ends, Spagnola and Krepley. And that, of course, that person I think everybody knows.
And no Wilbert Montgomery. It is Jamona, along with Leroy Harris in the Eagle backfield. The pitch is out to Jamona. And Louis sprints into the left side. He had a good game against Dallas up in Philadelphia. He's not big, he's not all that fast, but he sure is tough, and he sure does get the job done.
And the Eagles with the right place for the run. You might recall the Washington Redskins came in here and got 160 some odd yards rushing, running at Randy White and at Harvey Martin, particularly with the two tight end situation. Krepfle worked on Hegman on the outside, and a pretty good first down play, a big first down play of 6 yards.
Jamona, the ball carrier, as the Eagles operate from their own 35 on 2nd down and 4. Jaworski fires. Pass complete to Jamona out of the backfield. Up close to midfield, and the Eagles come out all fired up.
It's a 15th catch for Jamona. He cannot weigh over 175 pounds with a big rock in his pocket. But he's short, and he takes punishment, and he is some good little all-around football player. How's the blocking doing? Here's Randy White and Harvey Martin. Let's see what happens. They fired out and kept them on the line of scrimmage. A short pattern, of course.
A high load. Randy White with Morris low, Cairo high. Fake is to Harris. The throw is to Charlie Smith, and he got it to Benny Barnes. Benny Barnes never picked up the football.
That was the darndest adjustment on the throw by a receiver I've seen. I think Charlie's hurt. Somehow he adjusts under the throw. And as you said, Benny Barnes hadn't picked it up yet. Good blocking, a fine throw here, but look at the adjustment under the ball. Fantastic.
Smith goes down under Barnes. And it'll be first down, Eagles at the 14 on the move. Here's Charlie Smith. Like he got hurt when he hit the artificial surface here at Texas Stadium. 21-0 Dallas. But the Eagles firing out in their first offensive series of the second half. Leroy Harris, the lone setback. A lot of time. Pass deflected by D.D. Lewis, and he had a chance to do some motoring with that if he could have come up with it.
I think Jaworski's computer got a little bit off that time. That was not his initial receiver. He was looking in the end zone. Receiver was covered. And sometimes these second-hand thoughts are not good. He just rifles it out there. Went right through D.D. Lewis's hands.
Intended for Rodney Parker. And Harold Carmichael has entered. Billy also in the attacking unit. He and Jamona, the two backs. Campfield lined up as a flanker on the left. Scott Fitzke is out to the right. Protection again is good. Wide open is Campfield. It'll be first and goal Philadelphia as Dennis Thurman made sure he stayed down, but there had to be a mix-up. And the Dallas secondary as wide open as was Campfield.
Good looking play and a great job of blocking up front. They're doubling on Randy White. The ball is thrown well. Jamona just hooked up in that vacuum on the underside, or make that Campfield. Here's the blocking now. They're going out and getting them now. There's Guy Morris back in to help on the double. Cole's being handled.
It is first and goal at the 1 for Philadelphia. The opening drive of the second half. It's Jamona. Struggling, trying to get in, does not. They again went right at Harvey Martin.
Wouldn't you have liked to have heard what Dick Vermeil did say at halftime? Just a different looking unit that took the field earlier. Aggressive and physical.
The word on Montgomery is that he was just hit in the head. That it was a tremendous hit by D.D. Lewis. He might, or maybe not, be back at action. Second and goal. Carmichael swings over to the left. Jamona. Touchdown. Louis around the corner and into the end zone, and the Eagles put some numbers on the board for the first time today.
Impressive drive, and Jamona, of course, is the coach's nephew. He calls him Uncle Dick, and Vermeil calls him Little Louis, but he is some good little all-around football player. He led the country a couple of times rushing in college at Utah State. He just goes outside. Big touchdown.
Steve Wilson, who couldn't quite maintain his balance long enough to get out there and maybe stop Jamona. Tony Franklin with Jaworski holding. Movement. And every one of these points become very important. It's against Philadelphia. Franklin had 2 shots at field goals in the first half. Missed them both. Again, not to make excuses for him, but this is not his regular hold.
Number 75, offense, retry.
Stan Walters.
Stan Walters. Must have moved a giant knuckle.
Dallas 21, Philadelphia 6.
Franklin's perfect on extra points so far this year.
He still is perfect. 21-7. There are 11 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the Cowboys are now ahead by 14.
Very large indeed. How long did that drive take? How long did...
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. The great thing is if you're an Eagle person is that you've done something. You've taken the ball and you've shoved it at them. They were being mugged.
It was a 71-yard drive, I think.
71. How much time on that? How much time on that drive, Bob?
4:05.
4:05. Were you a math teacher too at one time?
Yeah. Junior high.
Taught Youngblood's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pumped up. They're ready to go, but this is going to be some half. Now, Danny White will try to sit on it, but he can't sit on it much because he's got to throw it to get points, doesn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
He's our math teacher here, and he gives me the wrong minute.
That's why I was in junior high.
I can't subtract that. I can do a bottom line, but...
Third quarter, Texas Stadium. Tony Franklin set to kick off. The Eagles just scored. Touchdown run by Jamona. It's Timmy Newsom on the right-hand side of the field. Newsom outside to about the 28, where Danny White and the Dallas offensive unit come on.
Keep in mind that back in October when the Eagles beat Dallas in Philadelphia, Dallas had 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles, 5 big turnovers. So far today, Danny White has been very careful, and his ball carriers have really kept their hands on the ball.
First and 10 for Dallas at their own 29. 11:45 left third quarter. Cowboys have the same running backs that began the game, Dorsett and Newhouse. The give is to Newhouse.
Woo.
Charlie Johnson led the Eagle defense, and indeed they are fired up.
Got 7 green jerseys on that tackle. And Claude Humphrey, the grand old man, is playing left defensive end the whole way. Evidently, Carl Hairston is not going to return, even though we did see him standing on the sidelines.
He took a tremendous lick to the head. The Bills leading the 49ers 18-13, hoping to get into the playoffs, and they can. 2nd and 7 for the Cowboys as Salvi comes in motion, and the handoff is to Dorsett. And he has very little room as the Eagles again with a tremendous pursuit put it all together. Denver 22, Seattle 3.
Claude Humphrey played that run very well. Now Danny White is going to have to throw the football when the Eagles know he's going to throw it. That's when it's a dangerous time to do it. Watch the way they get out in pursuit on this. John Bunny playing off the blocker, off Scott. And Roynell Young was right there under it.
3rd down and 4. Cowboys just shy of the 35-yard line, leading by 2 touchdowns, 21-7. If they want to be the NFC's Eastern Division champions, They've got to win by at least 25. Out of the spread, White throws. Incomplete. And no penalty markers down, and here comes one. A flag goes down.
That guy was halfway in Odessa that made that call.
Reggie Wilkes, the defender. And the official
Interference, number 51, defense, first down.
That is Reggie Wilkes.
Preston Pearson is now to the left side in the shotgun. He goes down and hangs about 9 fakes on Reggie Wilkes and the other person helping him on the double, and finally hooks it up. He was what you call too well covered.
It is cold in Dallas.
It's a cute baby.
But ideal for football. 40 degrees when the game started. Here comes that reverse again. And it's Tony Hill with Herbert Scott out in front. And Hill goes out of bounds at midfield. The Falcons 14, the Rams 10.
That's the play they opened the game with. This time it looked like the Eagles were sort of waiting for it, but it was so well executed. Here comes Scott rolling back, peeling back for his block. Tony Hill's taking his time, letting things happen for him.
Billy Joe Dupree got a good block out in front. Just across midfield. Dallas had it. 2nd and 3. The give is to Newhouse. Newhouse will have a Dallas first down at the 45.
The Redskins voted Robert Newhouse the most underrated back in football. When your peers can give you one of those, you betcha.
He's been getting clutch yardage for a long time.
Here comes Stumpy now.
Johnson, the tackler, as Dupree checks back in.
Right behind the offensive backfield is set. Good blocking by Scott and Donovan on that side.
At the 45-yard line of Philadelphia, Dallas first down. Clock running at 9:20 left third quarter. Pitch out to Dorsett. Breaks away from one tackler on a reverse pivot by White. A play that came straight from Barry Switzer at Oklahoma, it looked like.
The old option, and he got blitzed right away by, I believe it was Jerry Robinson that forced the toss. The great play was by Bigfoot Harrison. You think these people are not good athletes? Watch a guy that's 6'8", 280 pounds, somehow make a tackle on Tony Dorsett. Pretty agile for a big fella, isn't he?
Wow. And he is big. At least 280. 6'8". 8.5 minutes now left to play in the third quarter, and Dallas faces a 2nd and 7 situation. White with good protection. Throws, has a man open. It's Steve Pearson. Pass is complete. Let's go to Brent Musburger in the NFL today.
Dallas.
Here in Dallas, the Cowboys on that pass completion from White to Drew Pearson pick up a first down at the Eagle 22.
What a great pattern, though. He drove Herm Edwards all the way up the sidelines, a double fake on the out move, and a real good throw by White.
Ron Springs in the backfield with Dorsett now, number 20, as Billy Joe Dupree comes in motion. The handoff, the fake is to Dorsett. The throw is finally to Dorsett. And Tony springs down to about the 15-yard line. He got out of a severe trap and turned that into a gainer instead of a loser.
Charlie Johnson, the nose guard, you see right here, he's been hit by Rafferty, slides over into it, takes an elbow to by Cooper. Has a good chance to make a tackle, but Dorsett perhaps took advantage of the eagerness that the big nose tackle tried to put on him. some drive the Cowboys have had, huh?
They have reached the 16-yard line. And they have it 2nd and 4. Tony Hill out wide to the left. Springs stays in the backfield. Drew Pearson out wide to the right. Hand off to Springs. Looks like about a yard shy of a first down. The Broncos and the Seahawks now 25-3. It's been a long year for Jack Patera.
Had a million injuries to his better players, or those that can catch and throw the ball too. He's had a lot of injuries up there.
It's 3rd down.
Two tight ends, so
maybe 3. Salvi, Cosby, and Dupree all in. 3rd and about a foot.
And Danny White kept it earlier on the sneak on a short situation like this.
Springs and Dorsett remain behind him. Salvi was the man in motion. And again, Danny White does the same thing and should have enough for the first down. The clock will stop while they unstack as Al Chesley led the Eagle defense.
It's so important for Dallas to answer the challenge that Philadelphia threw at him. White just waited for the offensive guard and tackle to move and stepped in behind it.
First down at the 11. Newhouse comes back in. Springs goes out. .35 left, first down at the 11 for Dallas. That's left in the 3rd quarter. White has Pearson, touchdown. The Eagles blitzed, and it cost them again.
A quick slant by number 88. And Dallas answered the challenge.
Texas Stadium. Drew Pearson, the clutch man, does it again.
His 6th touchdown catch of the year. Early in the year, he did not get much action, and he complained to Danny White, softly but complained. Pretty good pressure put on by Harrison, and a good throw by Danny White.
Raphael Septien with Charlie Waters holding. Septien is good again, and the margin is back to 21. Dallas 28. The Eagles 7.
Danny White is cool under pressure.
You saw the blitz coming.
Back to the game again, huh?
Some second half.
How many points again is it?
They need
4
more.
Just so loose it keeps moving around is all. Can you just... Oh, that's better. Yes, that's much better. Sorry, I was having a little lavalier problem up here. When your lavalier starts wobbling around, it's really rough. Let's see, is that it?
I don't see Leonard.
That's on the far side.
He's
You're
not
on the
on
wrong
that
side of the
side.
stadium.
He's on this side.
On this side under us.
Septien will be kicking. Billy.
Raphael Septien will be kicking off. There he goes. Can't field deep. We'll field this one at the 6. Again, he whirls for good yardage out to the 27-yard line. That touchdown pass by Danny White, by the way, is number 27 on the year, and that ties him with Roger Staubach for the all-time touchdown pass record held by Roger and set last year.
It's not too bad for a fella first year in the job, right?
27 touchdown passes by Danny White.
Now Jaworski must get the rushing game going that he had in that last drive. mix his play action passes, and eat the clock up. Keep it ticking.
Clock has 6:16 left in the third quarter at the moment. Jaworski has Leroy Harris and Jamona as his runners. He fakes to Jamona. He is out to Rodney Parker. Parker's got some room. And the Eagles have a first down. Harvey Martin came from all the way on the other side of the field to make that tackle.
Woody Peoples and Sizemore, the offensive right guard and tackle, did a good job getting out. Sometimes you can get the screen lineman out and they don't really block anybody. Both, though, made solid contact, 69 and 76. Good play.
That clock that the Eagles want to move is moving with 5:40 left third quarter. Looks like Billy Canfield might have a cramp in his right leg. The Eagles have lost Montgomery. And Jamona's playing as the tailback in this high formation at the moment. And the throw, the fake. And a catch by Scott Fitzke as again Jaworski led him away from the defender as he did to Charlie Smith earlier.
And again, a great adjustment on the throw itself by the receiver.
Steve Wilson.
He pumps it. Steve Wilson now is looking up, trying to get control of the receiver. Now he looks back. And of course, Fitzke, the receiver, has all the advantage when you can go back and take it. That ball wasn't thrown beautifully, but it's a big reception.
Sometimes if you underthrow, that can be the most effective way. Eagles first down at the Dallas 20. Cowboys leading 28-7. Jamona. He is smothered by Randy White after he picked up about 3. Mike Hegman hit him first.
Randy White came from nowhere, and I think smothered is about the best descriptive word I can think of. Hegman comes up early and cuts it back inside. And Jamona, the smaller one, oh my goodness, what a shot.
Rodney Parker checks in and Jamona comes out. It'll be 2nd and 7. Jaworski's Eagles on the move. Double tight ends on the right-hand side. Trepfley lined up as the flanker, and Jaworski drops. He has time. He throws high over the head of Scott Fitzke. The defender was Benny Barnes.
And good coverage by number 31, Barnes. Jaworski really loaded that one up. That was a real Guidry fastball.
It'll be 3rd and 7. That one sort of faded away from the receiver, didn't it?
A little bit. Perry Harrington checks in.
They're at the 17. Harrington has good speed and is a good receiver coming out of the backfield. He's back there with Jamona.
Be some blocking on the line of scrimmage.
Be some battle. Cowboys show blitz. Anthony Dickerson makes the play on Jamona. Shy of a first down, and the Eagles have got to take the field goal.
The speed linebacker, number 51 on the nickel. You can see he's lined up over the offensive center and still has the speed to recover and get outside. The good teams all have that one linebacker they can put in there that can run like a little man.
Here's Jamona isolated out of the backfield, and you'll see Dickerson knock him out of bounds.
Right out in the flat.
Tony Franklin, this time from 29 yards. Again, it's not Shira holding. It's Jaworski. This one is true. And it's now Dallas 28. Philadelphia 10 as Franklin hits. We have 3:48 left in the third quarter. The battle continues.
Let's go! It's 7 then again now, right?
Right.
That's a touchdown, isn't it?
Yeah, they got a 35-10 would be exactly 25.
Is that wild? Is that wild? Now
that is correct.
Is that something?
On the 6th category.
35-10 on the 6th category, if that's the way it would end.
Which is...
gosh knows we're trying.
Best net points in all games.
between two broadcasters that go out on Saturday night. That's the seventh. That's the seventh tiebreaker. A crew that drinks Gold tequila together stays together, or one of those, whatever that is. Hey, Sandy,
Texas
you know what I found in
margaritas.
my back pocket this morning? Three limes. 3 limes in my back pocket.
But no, but no tacos this time.
Yeah, I didn't have a taco under my pillow.
Back at Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Soft kick. That's Steve Wilson. Wilson with some running room. Out of bounds over by the Dallas bench at about the 39-yard line where they take over.
We've seen some spectacular runbacks today. Billy Canfield's been doing a great job for the Eagles. Here's touchdown Tommy Wilson's son getting to the outside, which he somehow manages to do in every game that we've seen him.
That's Robinson chasing him and taking him out of bounds.
A long way out of bounds.
It is first down Dallas. As you look at that point differential business, it is now 28-10. If it should become 35-10, that would be 25 points exactly. And Dallas would win the NFC East because of the 6th tie-breaking category, best net points in all games. Is that unreal? Wide open is Pearson, and he overthrew him.
Sidelining up on Herman Edwards, and Drew Pearson, number 88, was streaking. That's the same direction, almost the same time of the evening that he caught the great pass against the Washington Redskins.
From Clint Longley.
Just overthrown.
3:33 left third quarter now. As Danny White had time, but just slightly overthrew it. A pump fake set it up.
And as soon as he pumps, that's when he starts the up move. And Herm Edwards had really gone all the way to the sidelines.
Wow. Dick Vermeil was a young man when this season started. Hand off Dorsett. Nothing doing on second down. John Bunting slowed him down. There's Vermeil.
The only time he took off this past week was when Leonard Toews got married on Tuesday afternoon. Dick and his wife Carol stood up with him. He went right back to the films as soon as his owner tied the knot.
Congratulations to Mr. Toews.
Caroline Cullum, the former Caroline Cullum, is now Mrs. Toews, and they're here today. And there are a lot of people in Philadelphia made this trip. I was surprised today, weren't you?
Yes. But a lot of green in Texas Stadium. Third down. Preston Pearson makes the inevitable appearance. And they go shotgun. Right under pressure. The ball bounces up in the air, and I think the Cowboys have it back, yes.
Like Claude Humphrey came around the horn from behind and grabbed the quarterback out of the shotgun. Watch the right part of your screen. You'll see number 87 windmilling and moving. He pulled it right out. That was a legal ball. The hand went forward, but I think that was a legal fumble.
That is Cooper. That's blocking on Humphrey.
Can rush the passer. In his sleep, he can rush the passer.
And Danny White goes back then to punt from his own 12-yard line. Louis Gemona back for the Eagles. White off the side of his foot. Gemona up the middle, swarmed on now by the Dallas coverage to the 46 where the Eagles would take over. It's Billy Canfield. And evidently it is a cramp and a penalty marker's down.
We had some tempers on the field, and this might be an unsportsmanlike. A lot of extra action by the special teamers.
Dallas man is down and now back up. It was Dexter Klickscale, the last Cowboy to get up, number 47.
Well, the officials must feel like they're in the redwood forest out there with everybody looking down at them all the time.
Against the Cowboys. Dick Jorgensen is the referee.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 84 on the kicking team.
That is
First down.
Doug Crosby, one of the 3 Cowboy tight ends. So Philadelphia will have the ball in good shape. Line of scrimmage will be the Dallas 38 at 1st and 10. Was he open?
Oh. He put the prettiest move. He ran a pattern over there earlier. We went to the double sidelines. Man, that's, you know, receivers don't get a chance to do that anymore. You get to see him do it once in a while. It was just this one. I'll tell you, Edwards almost came into the bench. He had him faked us. He was driving toward the sideline.
I didn't see the first one. I saw that one.
Go. Sandy, you better get me that Randy White, Harvey Martin duo on that side, okay? We ought to see a little bit of hair flying over there. How many turnovers? How many turnovers have the Eagles had? What's he listening to? Jerry. Hey, Ray. Huh. How many turnovers for either team?
The Philadelphia Eagles have won only one of the last 14 games against Dallas in Texas.
Of course, that was last year.
That was last year. This year, they're trying for a sweep. Dallas leads 28-10. Leroy Harris, a lone setback now. Jaworski throws down the middle to his tight end, Krepfle. And the Eagles come roaring back again.
You have to understand where Krepfle's coming from, and nobody knows. He had an operation in Salt Lake City, an arthroscope, where they look in and see what's wrong. They went in with took out, did some ligament repair work. That's only 2 weeks ago. And Vermeil said the week after that, he showed up, put on his game suit, and they almost had to tie him on the bench. I'm talking about Keith Krepfle.
The Eagles putting the pressure on that Dallas defense now. As Jaworski's having time to throw. And he's getting the job done. They give this to Gemona. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by Randy White from the back. He just swatted him down.
And Ed Jones played so tough that he drove the blocking down in there. Sizemore and Jones were in there. And Ed Jones just plugged up the hole, and Randy White came down on Gemona's back again.
Injured Eagle is Perot, I believe. Here comes Randy White. Watch this maneuver.
Just swatted him down from behind.
Like a bear knocking fish out of the water. It'll be 2nd and 9 then for the Eagles as Perot is hurt. See that?
Beat this kid so quickly. I think what the kid just probably either cracked his ankle or something like that. He was buying. They'll bring in
Baker.
They obtained him from Baltimore. That's right. Good-looking player.
Baker is.
Oh yeah, he's good. Sandy. You don't any of that tape you had before halftime of the officiating thing? Oh, I thought you might want to just cover this with something like that, just to show what Vermeil's attitude going into the half.
The Eagles have had a tough time rushing today. They had a tough time the other time against Dallas.
Without Wilbert Montgomery, which was the same in the first game, I think they changed their entire scheme about trying to run the football. Now they pick a little here, pick a little there. but Jabona's not going to run over anybody. He's going to execute very well.
It's been a rough year for Montgomery.
Came off a 1,200-yard year rushing a year ago. Got the knee. Then he got the hip pointer, or vice versa. Perot's walking off. You're always glad to see that because he got a badly sprained or broken ankle on that carpet.
The NFL today, next week, and the NFC's wild card game. We'll still have to wait and see what happens here. I'll tell you who's going to be involved. Clock running at just over a half a minute left in the third quarter. Here's Jamona, smothered by Hegman this time.
The Eagles went with the wingback and the two tight ends on that side, Krepley and Spagnuolo, the big fellas, and tried to do what the Redskins did so well. That time Hegman just split the blocks and made the tackle.
Clock still running with 10 seconds left in the third quarter now. And Dallas leading Philadelphia 28-10. Dallas expecting pass, but a field goal now is just about as good to Philadelphia as a touchdown might be. They'll wait and let the clock run out at the end of the third quarter.
And they will run that clock down a lot. Jaworski will on that 30-second clock.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score Dallas 28, Philadelphia 10. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Okay, we got third and 6, huh?
7, they say here.
Third and 7, then. They're going to have to come out of the backfield with somebody. Is Charlie Smith in there?
No, they got Harrington in.
Got Harrington, Jamona.
Parker,
I see. Carmichael over here.
Sandy, get me Baker is the new offensive left guard. Get him working against Randy. Carmichael's streak's going to come to an end today. You know what?
Still standing down here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good.
All right.
One more great quarter to go in Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead Philadelphia 28-10.
Third and probably about 7 or 6. Carmichael's not in there. You got Parker, Fitzke, Harrington, Jamona, Krepley.
The ball's at the 14. They need 7 for a first down. Dallas not showing blitz, and now they step up into it, and now back out again. Jaworski has to scramble, throws complete to Harrington, and he is very close to a first down, a little bit shy, I think.
And Randy White came from, after making an intensive rush, came back and made the tackle after the dumped pass. Here's the play, and there is a lot of scraping going on the line of scrimmage. Peoples on Cole, the little dump lob. Here's a rookie. First season in the league, and there's Randy White coming over the top again.
They're going to measure this to see how close. It doesn't look like Dick Vermeil has Franklin ready. It's a good 2 feet short.
Wilbert Montgomery out of the eye can get you a yard about anywhere. But
they got to take the field goal.
Got to take the field goal.
Here comes Franklin.
His last kick was very strong, very straight, and he looked very relaxed about Jaworski's hold when it was over.
And the extra point he kicked was very strong as well. So this one is going to be from about 25 yards out, and should be very little problem for Tony Franklin. Jaworski the holder.
We saw him at the Sun Bowl, remember? Kicked, what, a 66-yarder was it?
Almost kicked it out of the stadium. Change the complexion of the whole thing. Franklin. No good. wide to the left. Wow. But he's strong enough again, but not straight enough. And things remain very much alive, 28-10.
How far right was it?
This way, isn't it? This way. It's left.
It was left? He hooked it left
Yeah,
again?
hit it left again.
Boy, it looks like he's standing a long way off today.
That would indicate,
wouldn't it?
Why he's pulling it, because he's reaching for it.
He kicked it into the ambulance. Where'd it go?
Up here.
Oh, it's over there. No, you're right. Gotcha. Oh, hello. Get me the right defensive end, okay?
That's what's going on in Los Angeles, or Anaheim, more correctly. The Falcons and the Rams all tied up at 17 apiece in the fourth quarter.
Neither team has had a turnover in this game. Does that speak for the quality and the way they've gotten ready for this?
It is 1st and 10, Dallas at their own 20. Dorsett, Newhouse again. The tandem, and here's Newhouse. Nothing doing. Absolutely nothing. Jerry Robinson came around the corner again to make the tackle.
The most impressive thing to me about Dallas today is that they have not been the finesse team that everybody keeps talking about. They've been extremely physical.
The Eagles have tightened up in the second half after trailing 21-0 at the half. It'll be 2nd and 8. Newhouse got 2. Big Claude Humphrey, pressed into full-time service today, has done a remarkably good job. Dupree backs off the line. Salvi is on the line on the other side. White. Fire. Pearson has it. First down, Dallas. As he is slammed to the turf by Roynell Young. But Drew Pearson, who for so many years has been one of the great clutch receivers, comes through again.
What a great free agent. Walked in and tried out. This time Danny White cleared the whole side by putting the tight end in motion the other way. He cleared out and made Roynell Young go one-on-one with Drew Pearson.
Pearson was a quarterback at Tulsa in college. That stat is true. That's in regular season. No team has beaten the Cowboys twice in the same season. Pitches back to Tony Dorsett. Dorsett rambles out close to midfield. John Bunting made the tackle. Tony Dorsett. Good block by Newhouse. Set it up.
Newhouse got him out there. They ran at the right defensive side of the Eagles. Charlie Johnson's playing those. They go through. Scott goes through on Chesley. Boy, Donovan stayed with Bigfoot Harrison, and Newhouse's block sprung him.
Newhouse's block was on Robinson. 12.5 minutes left. From behind the quarterback, the pitch is back to Dorsett, and there's Newhouse's block out in front of him. Springs replaces Newhouse. James Jones is also in the game. A flicker. Hill catches it. Tony Hill from no place comes up with a football at the Eagle 15.
The flea flicker, and the Eagles had 3 people waiting for the ball to come down, and Tony Hill out-jumped them and picked the pocket on the way down. Here's the flea flicker to Springs. Left-handed toss back, and 3 people are waiting for it. The ball hangs.
Boy, you talk about your Hail Mary passes. Tony Hill gives Dallas a first down at the Eagle 15. And keep in mind that point differential. If they win by a margin of 25, Dallas would be the NFC Eastern Division champion. Handoff. to Jones, and nothing doing. That play did not look like it was very well executed.
Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle, just would not quit on the play.
Let's go to Brent Musburger in the NFL today. Can't get much better here, Brent. 2nd and 10. White. Protection. Holds. Pass to Dupree. Touchdown! Touchdown!
Covered by Randy Logan. It was close, and Dupree caught it. What a throw by Danny White.
He dropped it after he went out of bounds. The official right on top of the play called it touchdown. Here it is.
The 7th touchdown catch for Billy Joe Dupree. Logan seeks him out, finds him, goes up for the ball, and Dupree just snagged it.
He had it. It is Dallas 34. Philadelphia 10. I'm thinking about point differences and scores and times. I'm going to jump out of the booth in a minute.
A touchdown pass. The 3rd for Danny White. 4th for Danny White. Pressure from Claude Humphrey. Good coverage by Logan. A great catch by Billy Joe.
10.5 minutes left to play. If we survive. If we ever had a chance to win the rating war, we ought to.
You think everybody here doesn't know what the point spread is and everything else? Look at this. They know the tie-breaking rules better than I do. Hey, Sandy, the crowd is going crazy. They all know. It's overjoyed, huh? The way they've hit each other today.
They can't.
What a throw.
The crowd at Texas Stadium has gone absolutely wild. They are, well, kid yourself, very aware of all this point scheduling and differences. Simona had it bounce out of his hands, and now he finally finds the handle. And he is down at about the 15-yard line. Dexter Quickscale is the tackler. Listen to the crowd.
They know the tie-breaking rules better than I do.
Right now, if it stays like this, Dallas wins the NFC East on the 6th tie-breaking procedure, which is best net points in division games. In all games, I'm sorry.
This will be some drive. They're 10 minutes and 20 seconds.
The Eagles have the football 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. They have had their top running back depart because of injuries, Wilbert Montgomery. But they've hung in there. And Jaworski now knows he's got to go to work. And does to John Spagnola. Every point now becomes very important.
Dallas came with the weak side blitz and the strong side blitz. Hegman came. Jaworski knew he was coming and stayed right in there and found the tight end. Watch the left part of your screen. They are coming, and Ron Jaworski knows it. I think those quarterbacks aren't fearless.
Here is Montgomery into the game now, and Spagnola, who just made that catch, comes out. Clock running, the crowd roaring.
I'll never forget Tony Hill's catch.
Oh, wow. There have been so many great catches and throws by Danny White. down the middle, just tight in it again. It's Prepfley this time.
And the offensive line for the Eagles they're really scrapping. Jerry Sizemore and Ed Jones, and we haven't heard a lot from 72 on the pass rush.
Randy White got up a little slowly.
Baker's in there. Perot's out. Number 63, Baker, is blocking on Randy White, and Randy is walking slowly for the first time today.
Another Eagle first down out at the 44-yard line. And Philadelphia, watching the whole thing crumble, comes roaring right back. No need to hold back now. Jaworski in a long count. Got Montgomery out of the backfield, and Montgomery is almost gone this time. Bob Brunig make the tackle. You talk about a wild finish.
What a play. Jaworski looks away, looks right back, and gets it to Wilbert Montgomery. Here's the fake. That gets the linebacker just moving enough. Throws it into the vacuum, and one tackler cannot handle Wilbert Montgomery. Brunig has to get help on this one. It is fierce.
Jaworski brings him out at the Dallas 31. Starts Parker in motion. Gives back to Montgomery. Wilbert tripped up at the 30 after a pickup of perhaps a yard.
What a play by Hagman.
Herman Edwards over on the Eagle bench. Final score, Buffalo 18. San Francisco 13, and the Bills qualify for the playoffs. Only one spot left as again Montgomery comes out. That'll be decided at the battle tomorrow between San Diego and Pittsburgh.
The play is not in yet. Now it is, and they're 14 seconds on the clock. But the Eagles need points now.
Second and 9. 7:15 left to play. Dallas 35-10 over Philadelphia. Jaworski steps into the pocket, fires. Almost picked off by Charlie Waters, and look at Charlie. It'll be third down.
Dallas loves to leave somebody in the short zone, and Waters will do it occasionally. And the thing the quarterback doesn't know if that's what the defense is. Stallings has him under right now. Jaworski moving in the pocket, almost gets it picked off.
On the Eagle bench,
Billy
Campfield, who had a cramp, I think, a little bit earlier, and I think they're still working on that.
No turnovers in this game yet.
Isn't that fantastic the way they've been hitting? 7:05 left to play. Ball at the 30. Third and 9. Jaworski's got to put it up. And does. Going deep, he's got a man open. And a catch by Rodney Parker. Look at Jaworski.
Parker came in with 5 catches. That was some tough catch. He's made 3 today, and all have been difficult. Make that 4. Here's the blocking. Baker having a little trouble with White. Gets some double help. Jaworski loaded this up early and just let the receiver work on Steve Wilson.
And that makes it 35-16 as Franklin comes in for the extra point. Here's the touchdown again.
The early throw and right on, but what a catch by Rodney Parker. 4 catches today. Look at the leap.
Tony Franklin with Jaworski holding. Hits the extra point. And it's Dallas 35, Philadelphia 17. And again, the Cowboys need a touchdown to get back to that precious margin of 25.
Talk about teams that have that deep stuff. This is something. Oh my goodness. Why didn't I go into the insurance business or work for Radio Shack or something? You can sell hammers and nails.
Yeah.
And those, what are those toolboxes? Those
hip roof
toolbox. Everybody should have one of those.
Tony Franklin will kick for Philadelphia.
Tony Franklin will kick off for the Eagles. James Jones in the middle for Dallas. Franklin hits another line drive. It's going to be Timmy Newsom that fields it over on the left side. Newsom out to about the 35, 34-yard line. Next Saturday, you'll see sports of all kinds here on CBS. Start your afternoon with the Sun Bowl from El Paso.
Jimmy Rogers, our friend from El Paso, is here in the booth with us today.
Good to see him as always. The Nebraska Cornhuskers and the great Jarvis Red Wine, Mississippi State. With their fine young quarterback John Bond, then the CBS Sports Spectacular brings you the style and grace of world ice skating at exhibition. And the thrills and spills of the Hall of Fame rodeo.
I'm pretty good in that area myself.
Don't miss a great sports afternoon on CBS next Saturday. At the 34, White will throw on first down. It's batted away.
Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle, may have gotten some of it.
And you remember, it was Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle, who made the key interception in the first game between these two teams up in Philadelphia.
No, it was Dennis Bigfoot Harrison who was doing some leaping over there that spiked that one. You're right, though. Charlie Johnson has 3 interceptions.
He comes out right now. Philadelphia bench
Rodney
full of
Parker.
nervous folks at the moment, but right now a very happy Rodney Parker, who made that clutch catch for the touchdown. 35-17 Dallas. Protection holds. Well, set gets away from one man. Can't do much more than that. John Bunning made the tackle.
Bunning is Vermeil or Swamp Fox Campbell's coach on the field. He takes the signals, calls the defense. That time he turned around to everybody and yelled out some kind of an audible, and then he came back in and made the tackle.
3rd and 8, the ball at the 36 with the clock running at 6:15 left to play. Dallas leading. Andy White 15 out of 21 on the day for 200 yards and 4 big touchdowns.
There's a tough 3rd down conversion right here.
Drew Pearson and Tony Hill both going out to the left, and Butch Johnson comes to the right. Andy White stays in. Pass is picked off, and there's your turnover. That's Richard Blackmore, who came up with the interception for the Eagles.
That is Richard Blackmore's 2nd interception of the year. And the ball was thrown extremely well and sharp. The 4-man rush by the Eagles. The extra defensive backs are there. INT.
Okay.
But don't go away, huh? All right, Sandy, you better give me Sizemore against Ed Jones. Ed has been very quiet today.
He really has, hasn't he?
And when he isn't doing things over there, it just makes it tough. That's the darndest football game I've ever seen, with that crazy 20-something points hanging over the head.
Jesus, that really is.
Yes, they're going to have home field for the playoff one.
For the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah.
35-17, 5:46 left to play in the contest.
Now Dallas is playing for home field if they win the game in the wild card situation. And the Eagles, of course, are playing for the NFC Championship, right?
If they win the game, they'll be the home team next Sunday. And entertain whatever happens out, it'll be the Rams. Here in Dallas. They could win the game. Not accomplish the margin that we've talked about. On first down, Leroy Harris straight up the middle. 60 minutes will come your way following football. And you see it in its entirety.
What Jaworski's trying to do is use as much of the clock as he can, but keep the ball. There's still 5.5 minutes left. He wants a couple of first downs without having to do anything in the way of passing, I would imagine.
Montgomery has checked back in again. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 44 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Trying to win the NFC Eastern Championship. Dallas showing blitz. Quick throw over the middle. And it could be all over now.
That's Scott Fitzke with the ball.
Fitzke down inside the 10 to about the 7. And that time, Dallas came with a blitz and got burned themselves.
There's Scott Fitzke. They said he wasn't fast enough. He ran a 9.600 in high school, but he had the soft hands. He's the one that made the end zone catch in the Sugar Bowl game when Alabama beat him. He has touch. And the blitz puts you in such a vulnerable position as a secondary man. That is Randy White that is running along and makes the tackle after playing the line of scrimmage. I don't believe I just saw that.
And you said Fitzke ran a 9.6 in high school?
Randy White was breathing hard and coming fast.
1st and goal, Eagles at the 7. Boy, they've shown some character and some poise and whatever you can bring out of your vocabulary today.
Dick Vermeil had something to say, though, and he said this all the way. Okay, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's go to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today for a report. Here in Irving, Texas, at Texas Stadium, it's 1st and goal, Philadelphia at the 7-yard line. Cowboys lead Philadelphia 35-17, so it's pretty obvious they're going to win the game. But oh, those tie-breaking procedures and those point differentials and all that business, that's been so much of a factor throughout this game.
Dick Vermeil said one time, people said, well, how do you get your team up every week? And he said, is their check the same every week? My check's the same every week. You go to work. It's a work ethic team. We're not all-stars. We don't have super players. We have to be ready to play and do as good a job as we can. And he said if somebody on the team doesn't want to do that, he'll put them on another roster.
They are, after all, professionals.
You can see the pressure's getting to Landry, huh?
Tony Hill, by the way, has a bruised left knee. They're checking on him. He may or may not be back. And the great streak of Harold Carmichael would appear to be coming to an end today. He had caught passes in 127 consecutive games, but none today. Jaworski fakes to Montgomery and throws behind Keith Creppley as tight end.
Randy White was coming in so fast, Jaworski had no choice. Creppley was open. Watch the left part of your screen. Baker goes out with Morris to double him, and here comes 54 anyway.
Creppley was open. Pressure from White, got to Jaworski, and he threw behind. John Dutton is big number 78. Ed Jones next to him, and Jerry Sizemore has done a remarkable job on Big Ed Too Tall today. 2nd and goal, the ball at the 7. Jaworski to Montgomery. Montgomery sheds one tackler, gets down to about the 5, and is finally busted back.
Brunig made some tough tackle. Wilbert was heading for the end zone. Hegman cuts it off very quickly. You can see they begin to move on defense. They know what it's going to be. Creppley doesn't quite get all of his block with that bad knee on Hegman, and that's some tackle by Brunig.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5. The next time the Eagles run it. Hegman missed. Brunig connected.
"10 seconds on the clock.
3rd and 5 and the clock running now. 3:25 left to play. Harris will not get in, and again Tony Franklin will have a chance.
Young kicker must be thinking about each time he does go out and stroke it with a new holder, the quarterback you're looking at right now.
And Franklin comes out. He's had a tough day. 1 out of 4. And the most difficult one, I believe, was 43 yards out. The others were in the 20s.
He's got a lot of pizzazz, though. He bounces back. Keep that head up. The kickers sometimes get down on themselves.
This one will be just like an extra point. From 19 yards out. Tony Franklin. The one thing you don't want to happen is to get a foul. This one is true. And that should make things a little bit more comfortable. The Dallas lead now is 35-20.
Pat,
15 points.
We've got to mention an old friend of ours that is battling right now against everything. Joe Kuharich. Joe is back in Philadelphia, and he is battling, and he has been around football for as long as you and I have, which is a long time, and he is watching some game that he's been a great part of.
I hope he's watching this one.
I know he is.
Can't wish him anything but the best. 2:28 and left to play. Christmas Day, you'll find a present from CBS. Pro basketball action starts off the afternoon. The Celtics against the Knicks. Then it's the 43rd annual Blue-Gray game with some of the best college all-stars from the North and from the South. Great way to spend Christmas Day. Right here with us on CBS.
And you know, this becomes very important for your coverage teams and everything. This is the one time you want to keep your concentration, stay in your lanes, force the runner to go somewhere else. Still a lot of time left for an explosive team. 2:48.
Dallas has all of their timeouts left. Philadelphia has 2. We have 2:48, as you mentioned, on the clock. Cowboys leading by 15 points. 35-20. Franklin hangs it to Jones down the middle. And he starts from the 10. Stays on his feet, still on his feet. Out of the pack to about the 27-28-yard line. John Shira made the tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. Louis Giamona, who always excels on the special teams. Let's see what they did to him.
He gets knocked out about every other game. Pardon me, every other play. But he's always bouncing off something, isn't he?
Bouncing back into the middle of things. Cowboys 35, Philadelphia 20 as Ron Springs and Tony Dorsett operate in the backfield. Tony Hill is back in the contest. White under pressure from Humphrey, eludes that, throws outside of Springs with some blockers in front of him. Ron Springs cuts back across the middle. Penalty marker goes down before Claude Humphrey makes the stop on Springs.
Flag was thrown. Screen, sometimes the linemen get downfield to make it an illegal pass. That's what happened. One of the guards or tackles just got over the line of scrimmage before the pass was accepted and carried. Now, Fred Bruni has probably told the secondary that's working against Danny White, play your normal defense. Don't play so loose that somebody can catch a ball and beat you all the way with a great move.
Ineligible downfield, number 68. Offense, still first down.
Herbert Scott, number 68. Bob Shaw is limped off. John Fitzgerald's back in the game as the offensive center for the Cowboys. 2:26 left to play. And the Eagles, it seems, are going to be the Eastern Division champions.
Someday for Danny White.
There has been 4 touchdowns. First down and 20. Pitches back to Dorsett. Tony jukes once, rolls around away from another one. Gets out to the 20 before Al Chesley knocks him out of bounds.
Harrison beat his block and closed off Tony D, but couldn't make the tackle. Right part of your screen. Watch 68. Take on Donovan. Jump over Donovan. But he can't make the final.
They're in overtime in Los Angeles. Here it's 35-20. Set got out of bounds, stopped the clock. It'll be 2nd and 18.
White has been sacked 3 times.
White throws it back to Dorsett, who drops it. That's a lateral. And the defensive team can't advance a lateral, I don't think, but they'll sure have the football. That is a lateral.
If the catch was good at the point, if they consider Dorsett's a catch or just a miss, but you can still recover possession of it even if he missed it on a lateral.
6-yard line, first down.
It is a first down, Philadelphia. They can't advance a lateral, but they can sure recover it.
It looks like the 4th sack was coming up. First, Harrison comes flying over the top. Now Clark moves in. There's the throw out in the flat as Harrison comes back. That is a lateral. You can't advance it.
That's Jerry Robinson over the top.
Here's that 3-man rush. Bigfoot Harrison can really physically just overwhelm even the best blockers like Donovan.
Robinson, with that great athletic ability, hurls his body over the top of Dorsett. And the Eagles have the football. 1st and goal from the 6.
They have all 3.
Danger. It's the wildest game.
Wow.
Dallas is winning the game going away, but the intangibles are there, aren't they?
The give is to Montgomery, and Wilbert bangs into the end zone. And the Eagles make it 35-26 now.
The 8th touchdown for Wilbert Montgomery. What a player. Went to Jackson State, and Ricky Young and Walter Payton were in the backfield, so he sneaked out and took an early morning car and ended up at Abilene Christian. Injuries, they said, would keep him from being a great pro, and he is absolutely, from the eye, one of the most dangerous runners in football.
Just cuts back against that grain so well. And once he gets into the secondary, so strong. Tony Franklin makes it 35-27. And the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be your NFC Eastern Division champions. They'll have the week off, and they'll also have the home field.
If they scored again, would we go overtime?
Not unless they have a 2-point conversion.
Oh, that's right. That's not in yet, is it? Dallas came out in the first half, and you couldn't have executed any better offensively than they did. New plays, new wrinkles, everything in the bag. Led 21-zip.
At the half.
Whatever Vermeil says at halftime should be recorded and put into the space capsule, you know?
Well, of course, at one time they had that margin that they needed to be the NFC's Eastern champion. They led it 35-10 one time. They needed to win by exactly 25 to have that dream come true. Back deep is James Jones. And Franklin will kick off. Line drive will go to Jones. Elijah. Well, he'll just fall on it and stay there.
That was a muff, not a fumble if he touched it.
And, of course, that's something to do with impetus, too. It'll be 1st and 10 Dallas, 20.
Yo. Okay. A Jeep?
A Jeep?
A Jeep? You mean like Jeep? Is it a controversial thing? How could a Jeep be controversial? Oh, is that it? Brendo wants one.
Without a muffler.
Without a muffler or mezuzah or whatever that is. What a game this is. This is a...
"60 Minutes" comes following football. And by the way, if you are interested in owning or do own a Jeep,
That's one of the subjects. You're talking about the car with wheels and things like that, the Jeep?
That's right. You'd be very interested in 60 Minutes tonight. 1st and 10, Dallas at its own 20. Cowboys up 35-27. Danny White, who's had a good day, still the quarterback. Dallas has all of their timeouts left. Hand off to Newhouse. Newhouse rolls out for a Dallas first down to outside the 30 before Frank LeMaster brings him down.
The Eagles have had 13 first downs in the second half. They only had 7 at half. Cowboys have run up 23 first downs and, of course, 35 points. These two teams played to a very brutal defensive game in Philadelphia. That was the 17-10 job. Now points are coming out of the woodwork.
Ball's out to the 31 now, and Dallas obviously conceding that there is no way they can get back those magic points that they were looking for as Drew Pearson comes out wide to the right. And they'll be the home team against Los Angeles next week. Atlanta will play Minnesota in 2 weeks.
So Philadelphia will have the home field advantage for the divisional playoff. Huh?
Right.
And they can't play anybody from their own conference, right?
That's correct. Executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Chuck Milton. Bob Stinner produced this broadcast today, and Sandy Grossman was the director.
We're a team too, you know. We all get together and have our production meetings, and then let whatever happens during the game happen, but it sure is fun.
Not using any timeouts, but using too much time on the clock. And here are the rest of the people, so some of them, who are responsible for what we hope you've enjoyed.
And Lance Barra, your friendly stat man that used to block for Wilbert Montgomery.
Still second down.
The crowd that was half hour ago wild and on its feet screaming when the Cowboys led 35-10 has started to disappear, and certainly very quiet at the moment.
Well, the Eagles' search for this starts a long way back with Vermeil, but their training camp was something like an endurance test. They really earned it.
Danny White just kneels and lets it run. And that's all of it. Dallas 35, the Eagles 27, a successful year for both teams, but particularly successful for the Philadelphia Eagles. 35-27.
A class situation.
So from Texas Stadium for Tom Brookshire, this is Pat Summerall saying so long as Dallas wins 35-27. Let's go now to Anaheim and pick up the Los Angeles game.
Oh God! I'm worn out. I'm gonna go back to that mechanical bull, I think.